So, what I would like each of you to do is go ahead and just roll me a straight up and down d20, and then hold your rolls. I'll call you out, and you'll tell me what you get, and I'll explain what the rolls are for.
Okay, I'm gonna roll physical dice just to see. Okay, cool.
Okay. Sorry, I'm off to a great start and immediately blanked. What are we rolling on?
Just
D20.
flat
Oh,
D20.
yeah,
Just a D20.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, just a good old d20.
No modifiers, no nothing. The
Oof,
dice.
okay.
Okay. All right, Natalie, what did you roll?
16.
Fascinating. Okay. Alrighty, and then Jane?
8.
8, okay. And Mitch?
I'm in the middle, 15.
15. Okay.
Uh,
All right.
I don't like that.
Why you?
Okay.
Are you that kind of GM
What?
that just
What?
giggles?
Why in the world would you assume that I
What
can't
the hell?
hold in my elation when something hilarious happens? So, all right, Evren,
Mm-hmm.
you are dreaming at this present moment,
Okay.
and so that roll
Mm-hmm.
out of 20, even rolls get you a dream,
Okay.
odd rolls get you a nightmare. Higher you get to 20, the more severe either the dream or the nightmare is.
Okay.
So,
See.
in your own words, would you please describe to me what Evren is dreaming about? You rolled a 16, so that's a dream, not
Okay.
necessarily a nightmare, and it's pretty high up there. So as far as how visceral it is, how detailed it is, just let us in. Let us behind the curtain for a second.
Okay. What would she dream about? That's a good question. I mean, I guess she would dream about her people and her home being left alone, and just basically like a perfect world situation to where she wouldn't have to worry about threats to her culture and her people and things like that.
I like it. I like it a lot. Alrighty. All right. Very, 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 very cool. Something else I think that you can do on Roll20, just so you know, I think you might be able to change your name to your character name.
Yeah,
If you'd like
you
to do that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
could be helpful for me.
Mhm.
But,
Do that.
so correct me on the pronunciation if I'm wrong. Is it Zana?
Yes.
Okay, Zana. You got an 8, so that's a dream, not super high up there. So this one's probably going to be a little bit more nebulous, a little bit more foggy. But what is Zana dreaming about?
Okay. If it's a little more foggy, then I'm just gonna be a bit more general with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just home, hanging out in the heavens like usual. All the good stuff, none of the bad. Just like kind of like how warm and cloudy everything feels, and just everything good that she would remember from her home.
I like it. All right, Mitch. You rolled 15. So this is a nightmare. And
Okay.
it's relatively high up to 20. So,
Uh-oh.
you know, you can be as specific as you would like with this one.
So, Marko's probably having a nightmare where he is thrown onto the streets and stripped nearly bare as he looks up to find a shadowy hand reaching to help him up, flanked by several other shadowy figures, all grinning. And as the sun sets in the background, you can probably see the silhouette of a dragon spreading out its wings before the shadows completely engulf him, springing him. I assume scaring him so much he would awaken.
Okay. Very good. Thank you all. Appreciate it. So, after your dreams and in Mitch's situation, as Marko's nightmare finishes. Like you said, that's the last thing that's sort of lingering in your mind as you wake up. Now, each of you are in your own small prison cell. Very small. It's way more uncomfortable for you, Marko, being a Goliath. This cell is not made for you,
Just
but
like
they made it
hunched
work.
in.
Yeah. It's not good. It's very not good. Your neck's probably going to be hurting a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Now remind me,
Feel
how
that.
tall is your Goliath again?
7 feet tall.
7 feet. Whew. Okay.
Oh.
So this prison cell, probably low ceiling anyway. So yeah, you're definitely hunched. It's not comfortable. And as far as each of you are concerned, you are in these small prison cells that are sort of on this long hallway of cells. The cells are on one side of the wall, so you're not seeing across to other cells. It's just a wall on the other side. You can look out through some bars that are on the door, and you can just see stone. That's pretty much it. And then there's a couple torches that light a dingy cobblestone hallway. The three of you are currently in sort of like a fortification of sorts, an outpost. This is not a permanent situation, but this is where you've been temporarily moved. And the reason why you're here is because they needed to start a new day, safer to travel on the roads. The plan is to take you guys to the Noirast, which the three of you would know that the Noirast is the high court that's in the continent, that's in the country. And the Noirast, unless I have made a huge mistake and aren't remembering properly, should be in Evren, which, as you can see on the map, is down in the south, very close to the Stokebalt Woods. Evren is the area that's full of scholars, learning, the Mage College, all that good stuff. And it's also the location of the Noirast, which is the High Court. That's one thing I am going to have to remember to jot down for myself at some point in the near future, was the stuff that I put for all the cities in our conversations earlier. But if I mess anything up, correct me. So the three of you wake up, and not long afterwards, there is a figure that you can hear moving down the hallway. You can hear the jingle and the clink of the large set of keys that this person is carrying. There's a lot of keys on this bad boy, so you hear this individual coming from quite a distance. And as the noise gets closer and closer and closer, first to your cell, Marko, the noise stops abruptly outside of your cell, but as you look through this window, you're still not seeing anything. But the noise has stopped in front of your door. And you hear the metal fitting into the lock, this key, you hear it turn, and the door opens up, and you are staring down at a small gnome holding a large ring of keys. And shortly afterwards, two guards who were walking behind him sort of flank both sides of the door. And this little gnome stares up at you, sort of takes in the immensity of your figure, clearly not expecting to see you there. You have not seen this gnome before. And he looks over at the two guards standing next to him and sort of gives this look on his face like, "You kidding me? You kidding me?" And he says, "Well, time to go, I guess. At this point, what do you, the two of you go in, get him out? Do you need help getting out? Can you get out? Heaven's sakes, it looks like you guys built this thing around him. Can you just come on out? Just come on with me. Let's go. It's time to get on the road. Let's hit the trail, as it were."
Yes, sir. Could you just help me out of here? It's
The gnome immediately goes to grab your log-sized arm and is pulling with all his might. And the other two guards are just sort of standing there. They're way more terrified of you than this gnome. This gnome is like, this is business. I guess this is who I'm responsible for. Let's just get it going. And finally the gnome says, would you two dunderheads help me pull already?
Yeah,
And the other
I
two,
appreciate the thought, but it's not really helping.
the other two guards sort of help like maneuver your shoulder to the side so you can sort of bend and get through the doorway. And one guard stands behind you, the other guard stands in front, and the gnome sort of sizes you up and down and then says, "Name's Eustace," and holds his hand way up as high. He actually has to get on his tippy toes to like even have a chance, and holds out his hand to shake.
Just pleased to make your acquaintance, good sir. It's just like take 2 fingers and gently, like as gently as possible, shake this gnome's hand.
I want you to make a strength roll.
Uh-oh. Watch out now.
12.
Okay, so when you go to like take his hand like with your fingers, and you just sort of maneuver it up and down. As you move it up and down, you're completely lifting him up off the ground each time.
Oh my god.
But he's not like hurt or anything. He's just like, "What? Okay, all right. I guess we're doing this now." And then like gets his feet back on the ground, turns to the guards, and just says, "All right, fellas. I guess take him to the wagon, the big one. Go to the big wagon. I swear, if you guys stick me with the small wagon with this guy, we're gonna have words." And then the guards escort you, Marko, down the hallway, and you know that there's a bunch of vacant cells in front of you, but you see that as these 2 guards walk down with you or start moving with you, that 2 more guards come down the hallway and go with Eustace to the next cell over that was just down the hall to your left. And you are escorted down the hallway out into an open courtyard. There's a couple guards that are like training, hitting some dummies with some slingshots, a couple of them doing bow and arrow stuff, some guys doing some spear maneuvers, but there's not a lot of guards around. It's very clearly just an outpost. It's not like there's not a ton of soldiers here. It seems, for as prosperous as you know the Kingdom of Devier to be, this doesn't necessarily look super professional. These sort of look like the dregs, to be honest. And yet, in your own mind, as Marko, sort of taking in all this military stuff, all these guys with swords and sigils and cloaks, you are like blown away right now. I'm
just sitting there like wide-eyed, like, God, I wish that were me.
It's a guy like slopping pigs, and like Marko is just like, "Oh, this is everything I want." It's just everybody doing the most basic military duty, like nothing important, just doing chores basically around the outpost, and Marko's just
not to
in
get
heaven.
Swept up in the moment though, and trying to like watch my step and be extra super careful. I'm not gonna break a twig on the way out.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you're out under just the open sky now, and you're just waiting with those 2 guards.
Okay.
So Eustace takes his giant key ring and he jingles his way over to the next cell, and Evren. Again, very similar experience. You hear the key. Again, since you're also a gnome, you can't even really see. If there was a face out there, you'd have a hard time unless you sort of jumped up a little bit. The door opens up and you're looking at Eustace. And he sort of raps on the door with his knuckles and just points to the hallway and just says, "It's time to get on the road. We've got a long journey ahead of us."
Ugh, it's about time. What took you guys so long? And then she's just gonna leave without saying anything else.
Okay, I like it. The 2 guards, one guard sort of like has to like quick walk to catch up with you. Despite your short legs, you walk very fast, and so one of the guards is just like, "Oh," and he has to like get back in front of you while the other one stands behind you. And Eustace just sort of standing there with his arms crossed and just is like, "Nice to meet you too. I'm Eustace." And he's just sort of talking. He actually turns back to the empty cell and says that to nobody. Like he had that prepared, but she's already gone. So he then walks to the final cell, which of course is Zana's cell, and opens up the door. There's 2 more guards that have followed him down. And as the door opens, you see that, the dungeon itself is pretty dark. It's pretty dingy. Like, there's not a whole lot of light in here. And correct me if I am wrong about this, but since you are like an Aasimar monk, I would assume that there's some sort of glowing aura happening. Like, it's not necessarily a spell. It's just when they open up this door, they're not expecting to see light in the room, like those kids' night lights, where there's just sort of random dots of light being projected onto the walls at random angles. And both of the guards kind of look at each other like, did we forget to take like a magical item off this thing? Like, what's going on? And the gnome looks relatively unfazed. Being a gnome, just sort of magical stuff is just sort of but he does like look up and he's like, wow, I love what you've done with the place. And then holds out his hand in welcome to shake your hand and says, it's everyone's favorite prisoner transport guy, Eustace, and holds out his hand. Is your day going, prisoner? And holds out his hand.
First of all, I didn't even think about the glowing thing, but I think that's sick, so we're going to keep that. But yeah, she'll take his hand and be like, oh, so nice. I'm glad to go. I was getting very claustrophobic.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with this voice. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with this voice. Okay, so...
Giving very nice days so far.
Yes, well, I actually woke up on time to have a little breakfast before I had to start work. I don't usually do that. I'm usually sleep right through the early morning hours. But man, let me tell you something. When these podunk know-it-alls want you to get out of here on time, they make sure you're up on time. So, if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go. You ready to go?
Ready.
Great. I'd say grab your things, but let's go. And Eustace is just like gestures happily with his arm, and you follow with the two guards, one in the front, one in the rear, and you follow Eustace down this long hallway and sort of go blinking into the sunlight that's outside. And again, with the other prisoners, you look up and you're just under a clear blue sky. It's a gorgeous day. Time of year is getting into like mid to late fall, roughly. In the area, so it's a little bit cold, a little bit of chill in the air since it's morning time, and that also means that the nights get a little bit faster. Like darkness sets a little bit earlier. You're in that crawl in that part of the year where it's getting darker earlier, but by the time you wake up, it's definitely morning time. But yeah, since you guys were escorted into your cells and into this fortress at night, you didn't really get a chance to look at your surroundings until this morning, the morning after you got there. And so now you're sort of able to take in this outpost. And like I said, it's not very fancy. It's very bare bones, and the three of you know enough about sort of what happened with how Devier sort of took over, is that the further and further out away from the capital you get, the more rinky-dink things get that they've constructed as sort of outposts for military power, because they're not as concerned about the fringes as they are about stuff closer to the city. So this place ain't fancy, but it'll do. But you get out into this courtyard. Again, you see the same things that Evren and Marko have seen. Some guards training, just doing some like regular duty type stuff. And Eustace sort of jogs out in front of the three of you. The guards have sort of positioned you guys standing shoulder to shoulder together. And Eustace starts sort of walking back and forth with his hands behind his back, still holding the key ring. And just as he's about to start, he begins with, well, as some of you heard, my name is Eustace. And as he's like just about to like start, one of the guards like taps him on the shoulder and just like, excuse me, we need our keys back, thank you. And he's just like, oh, sorry, they're in my hands for so long I forgot they were there, and is just sort of jingling them around. And he's just like, I suppose you'll probably need these back. And then they're like, yes, thank you. You can definitely tell there's a little bit of disdain that these guards have for this gnome. There's very little familiarity, not a fan, which is crazy considering how charismatic gnomes are. But these guards are like just not really thrilled to have this gnome here this morning. He's a little bit much.
You did.
Okay.
He begins again pacing. Well, my name is Eustace, as some of you know, and it will be my job, technically it's supposed to be a pleasure, to escort you all to the Noirast. At least, that was the plan until this morning. So, as it turns out, our route is being diverted, as it happens, and we're now, we're not going to the Noirast in Evren, which was a change of plans that I wasn't necessarily expecting, but I will say you're all going to a lovely little village known as Montrace. And I don't really know any other details. I wasn't really given any. Bureaucracy at its finest. I was just told to take you all there, so that's what we're going to do. None of you are in here for violent reasons, right? None of you killed anyone?
Oh, no.
No, no.
I swear I'm innocent.
Terribly convincing, all of you. Well, it's a good thing they're giving me a couple guards to accompany me, no offense. But it's not like criminals are necessarily known for their truth-telling, and if you were lying to me, I just like believing people, so who knows? And Eustace, there's guards that are sort of nearby, and all of them look very much like, oh, don't pick me, don't pick me, don't pick me. And Eustace sees the guard that, like, took the keys away from him, and just sort of gives him, like, a double finger gun wink, like, oh, you're coming with me. And then he goes over to there's another guard who's like clearly not paying attention to what's going on, doing something else, and he just sort of tugs his sleeve and it's like, you there! And he turns and he's like, what? Would you like to accompany me on the prisoner transport to Montrace? And by would you like to, I'm telling you, you must. And then the big guy's just like, whatever, and then just like walks over to it. The best way I could describe it kind of looks like a cross between like a medieval wagon and sort of a Conestoga wagon. It's like covered, there's like some canvas sort of material overlaying it, just in case it like rains or something like that, because the weather does get somewhat extreme in this part of the country, so you want to be prepared. So, and the cart in specific, you see that there are a couple smaller ones, but this one's like a huge one. This one is huge. So as a Goliath, Marko, you are thrilled that you'll be in a space not cramping you as much. Eustace just says, we're going to be taking what's normally a cargo transport. I was specially requisitioned it. Wanted to make sure that our large friend had plenty of room to sit peaceably. And then Eustace walks over to the cart and sort of leans on it and is just like, so is there paperwork or can we just leave? And he's just like looking around at the guards like, can we go now? And the guard who seemingly looks like the highest rank is just like, just sort of waves his arm like, get out of here. Just no one cares. Leave.
No one likes you, man.
And Eustace gestures to the three of you and says, well, come on, to Montrace we go. It's going to be a great time, I'm sure of it. Any excuse not to go to Evren, I will gladly take. I hate it there. It is boring. For me. It would have been boring for me, seeing as how I wasn't going to be in court for my crimes. For you, it would have been momentarily exciting.
You sure do talk a lot, don't you? Can we just go?
Fine. I mean, don't worry. There's plenty of time to talk on the trip.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I hope you... Oh, do you guys know any traveling songs?
No. I don't. No.
Oh, pity.
No travel songs.
Any regular songs?
Well, yes, we have lots of good music back home.
Oh, great. I'd love to hear some. And then Eustace hops into like the front, and the guards that are sort of around sort of maneuver you guys over to the cart. You know, they're holding their weapons and they sort of gesture. They put the back of the transport down. There's like a little wooden tailgate sort of thing to hold cargo from shifting. They pull that down. and they only have to help Evren up into the thing. I think one guard just sort of puts his hand out flat for you to just like step on as you get in.
Yeah, she'll just jump up there with that nod at him.
Yeah, and so the three of you are inside of the prisoner transport, and Eustace and there's a guard sitting shotgun, and there's a guard sitting in the back with y'all, who's sort of sitting in front of like that tailgate thing, so you guys can't just jump out randomly. And Eustace, with a surprising just like flick of the wrist, just does the whole and like gets the horses going, gets them moving, and they start heading off. There's just two horses in the front pulling the whole thing, and they start moving. And you guys slowly roll your way out of the outpost and onto the road. Now, one of the things that you know about the country in which you live is that with sort of the taming of the wilder areas, it brought with it a complex system of well-kept roads. And so the roads, for the most part in this kingdom, very, very safe to travel for the most part. It's once you get out into the fringes, like I said earlier, that's where things get a little bit dodgier. And where you guys are isn't necessarily a main pathway, but taken enough by military prisoner-y type people that it's relatively safe, because usually anybody traveling along this road has weapons. So you guys feel pretty comfortable on this road. And again, now that it's day, you guys can actually sort of see the road that you guys were taken. And it's sort of this weird experience where you're sort of reliving last night versus today, where the expectation was, well, tomorrow we're going to the Noiras, we're going to the High Court. And then this morning, all of a sudden you're not anymore. Now, the three of you have never met before.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The guard that's sitting in the back is just sort of zoned out. He's just sort of there, sort of leaning lazily, his staff or his spear to his side, and he's just sort of like, got it. But he's just sort of leaning, just sort of checked out, just sort of looking at you guys just vacantly, not really saying anything, not engaging in conversation at all, just checked out. And from the front of the transport, you can hear that Eustace is humming to himself, loudly to himself. And yeah, and then besides that, it's just the slow crunch of the wheels over some stones. And you guys are traveling. You guys are in transit. It's at this point that I'll open it up to the players to do whatever the heck you want conversationally.
I'd just probably forcing a smile and just kind of look at the guard, look at all my fellow prisoners, and just go like, "Hi, how you doing?"
Oh, doing very good today. How about you?
Have some important things to take care of, but sure we'll be on our way here shortly. After all, we're all innocent, right? So we should have nothing to worry about.
I think Evren, she's kind of like half paying attention to their conversation, but she's like glaring if she can. I don't even know if she can see him at Eustace for humming, be like thinking like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. If he keeps this up, I'm
direction of the driver's seat.
Yeah, like if he keeps this up, I swear to God, I'm gonna kill. Like she's just so annoyed with him right now.
I love it. I love it. It's so good. And the guard who's been sort of checked out, when you say I'm gonna kill him, just sort of like awkwardly like side eyes.
No, she was thinking it. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
That's smart. She's like, I'm not.
These are
yeah.
very dangerous things to think about on a prison transport.
Well, she's smart enough to know not to say it out loud. She's like,
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep it in my head. Sorry.
That's an inside thought. Okay,
Yep.
got it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so basically this guard sort of leans back, stretches, and it's a female guard, and she just sort of says, Montrace, Why did it have to be Montrace? And she's just sort of nodding to herself, like, ugh.
I've heard it's actually not that bad. I've heard great things. Great countryside. Great countryside.
Oh, sounds very good.
Yeah, I suppose if you like being stuck in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of superstitious kooks, I guess it would be great.
Sounds very good. Sounds like a lot of character.
Since we're good guys, I'm sure we'll get this all resolved pretty soon. You can get on your way.
Yeah, I'm just dying to go back to the outpost too, because that place is a riot.
Where do you need to be?
To be honest, I'm just waiting for my tour to be finished. I signed on for 4 years. I just got a couple months left, and then I can leave.
Well, if your tour brings you to Devier, could you take me with you? I have some important matters to attend to.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Marko. Marko's... before he says his last name, he kind of stutters a little bit. Marko Greatheart. At your service.
Uh-huh. And why am I taking you there? You're a prisoner.
Oh, I'm actually a knight. Or I will be one, at least. You see, I have some important business with the king.
Uh-huh. Sure you are, big guy. Sure you are.
Oh,
Why,
he's meeting
Yes.
with King. He must have very important business.
yeah, see, someone who understands.
The guard just sort of darts a glance over at Evren, like, no, that's not a thing. That's not a thing that's happening.
No, I'm Zana.
Yeah. You two are talking nice to each other. The guard looks over at Evren and is just like, no,
Okay.
this is all wrong.
Gotcha.
Somebody who's going to go see the king wouldn't be in jail in a random outpost so far away from the kingdom.
I think
No.
Evren would see that and be like, you're making a heck of a first impression if that's really your goal. You really think they're going to let a prisoner go see him? After your alleged whatever it is you did? Supposedly?
I swear I didn't do anything.
I know, I've heard you. You said that like 20 times already.
Well, I don't have any way to prove it, but
That's...
people just believed each other, you know.
That's not how the world works, buddy.
It could be.
It's not, though.
Ugh. He just frowns.
Eustace pokes his head through like the canvas flaps that separate like the front from the cargo area and just sticks his head through and is like, you guys getting to know each other back there?
Aren't you supposed to be
Introductions?
driving?
And
Yeah,
singing?
no, it's fine. Colton's got it.
Oh,
Okay, sure. Yeah, we're talking. And
Great.
We're having so
you're
much fun learning about each other.
Oh,
Okay.
good. It's gonna be a long drive. So
Oh,
I hope you guys get along swimmingly. And then he puts his head back through the tarp and starts humming again. It's
I
going
think it's
to be
good
a
stuff.
long trip, a long trip, a long trip. Going to be traveling for all day. Colton, take it away. Crickets, just silence.
I believe if you work at something long and hard enough, you'll eventually get good at it. Maybe he'll find his singing voice by the time this trip ends.
oh, maybe.
Unless
He's a
it...
little off tone.
We'll see. Maybe I'll punch him in the throat first. I don't know. He's
He
getting on
did
my
free
nerves.
us.
Free
Friend,
us!
I don't think these are good things to say on prison.
The guard is literally like, you look over at the guard and the guard is staring at you, but just goes, I wouldn't blame you, to be honest. Like, Eustace, he's fine at his job, but he just gets access to stroll in, do whatever he wants, and leave, and never had to serve a tour in his little life. it's really, really annoying.
I'm not usually one to make threats when I first meet people, but I can't do this for a whole day. I'm gonna lose it. Something's gonna get broken. I don't know. I can't.
I could always cover your ears, lass.
That's not. No.
He has very big hands. And, like, good job.
Oh.
I guarantee you won't hear a thing.
That's I'll think about that. Thank you, Marko. Right? Is that what you said?
Yes, that is my name, Marko Greatheart. Yes.
Okay.
Evren, was it?
Yeah.
And Zana.
Oh, yes. Yes, my name is Zana. It's so good to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well.
Oh, this is such a good day. I'm going on road trip with my new friends Marko and Evren.
The guard looks like her soul is crushed. Like, just lifeless. Just like... Oh. The guard, she, like, straightens her back and just, like, stretches a little bit. And just like... Well... Of all of the prisoners to be with on a prisoner transport, I can honestly say that this is the most colorful conversation, and also, so far, the most non-threatening group, so I guess that's nice.
Hey!
Yes, good. Very good.
Except for
take
her. She scares me.
I
I was afraid of Man Mountain over there, but now I'm afraid of her.
No, I'm getting out on good behavior.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
hey,
She's just
hold
making me
on.
look better, so...
And what is that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying you're helping Zana and I's case?
I think she's just gonna look at him.
I
Like-
hope you get out too, though.
Well, none of us did anything, so we should be fine.
She looks at Marko with like the most like I don't believe that for a second look. With the way that was said to me. Right.
Well, you guys will be happy to know that Montrace... I got nothing. I mean, I guess it's not the worst place on the planet, but that might be one of the only things I can give it. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Going to the Noirast versus Montrace? It's close. Very close.
Wow.
There's a lot of bureaucracy in one, and a lot of superstition and backwards living in the other.
Great. Sounds like a great time. Can't wait.
Again, Zana's gonna turn towards Marko and be like, okay, I'm bad with some words. How does one live backwards?
Stealing and murder, that's a big one. I suppose some people just lie a little bit, but
Oh,
it's okay. I know some nice people there. It's not all bad.
okay, so not just doing everything walking backwards, okay.
Big guy, you've been to Montrace before?
Well, not personally, but
Then
my mom's from there.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. And you're happy to be going there?
Why, yes, it's not that far away from home anyway, so...
And where's home exactly for you?
Oh, you know, in the mountains.
Oh, very cool. Mountains very pretty.
Yeah, the Royals.
Yeah. Well, all of them really.
Mm-hmm.
The royal ones, the common folk ones.
I love her. Out of character, I love her.
Which, of course, as you guys know, Evren and Marko, you know that the Royals are the name of the mountain range that separates Montrace from Devier, the Royal Mountains. And so that is what Marko is talking about specifically, which geographically not too horribly far from Montrace, as you can see by the map. At this point, Eustace pops his head through the canvas again.
Oh boy.
And just says, normally, when I'm instructed to divert away from the Noirast, which, believe it or not, actually happens every once in a while, it's not completely uncommon, usually there's some sort of a agreement in place where the bean counters ran the numbers and decided that putting you guys all the way through the court system would be too expensive, take too long, could be any number of reasons why they don't want you guys getting transported all the way to Evren. But if we're being diverted there, it's definitely on some sort of official order. But I just wanted to assuage any fears. There are no gallows in Montrace. And he smiles and then looks around huh? Exciting? Huh?
Thank God.
This is such good news.
You really know how to chirp a room, huh?
Thank you. And then he puts
That
his
was
head back
sarcasm.
Are you?
and he pops his head back in. What was that?
Nothing.
Okay, cool. Pops his head back out.
I think
Colton, you hear a voice from the front that's just what was that one road song? How did it go? And then Eustace is just oh, this one. Colton's just no, I don't think it's that one. No, you're singing it wrong. You're singing it wrong, Eustace. It's dun 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 dun. And all of a sudden, there's just this cacophony of two people in the front seats trying to remember the tune to a specific road song that neither of them remember the lyrics for. It's truly unbearable. And the female guard in the back of the cart just puts her head in her hand, holding the spear in the other hand, and is just oh, it would have to be Eustace. Why did it have to be Eustace? So we will now cut forward in time just a smidge. For sanity's sake. We'll cut forward a little bit. And if I was to pinpoint roughly where you guys were, if you look at the map, so the mountain range, not the Royals, at the bottom of the mountain range to the left, sort of in that gap between the Stokebalt Woods and the bottom of that mountain range, that's roughly where the outpost was. Right about here. If that even lets me click anymore, or if it does whoever just did the little indicator thing, that's the one.
Yeah.
If you click and hold it, it'll pulse.
Click and hold, yeah, right there, woo, rave. So that's roughly where the outpost is, and you guys are going to be traveling for a bit. Obviously, the outpost is not exactly all the way back there. It's definitely further. It's definitely closer to Montrace for story reasons. It's closer to that for timing reasons, because it is a kingdom after all, so it's not super traversable easily. But we'll say it's sort of triangulated between the bottom of that mountain range, Stokebalt Woods, and somewhere up above, sort of between the two of those. And so you guys are traveling. You guys got an early start, and it's about, I'll say, 6 hours later. You guys have stopped by the side of the road. There's some running water nearby, or a well, probably. And they're just sort of refreshing the horses, giving them a break. The guards have sat down with their meals that they packed away before they left. And the three of you are shackled, manacled up, and they have, since you guys are out of the transport, they link y'all's legs together so you guys have a little leg situation, so you're all
One of
connected.
those.
Marko, for your character, they had to like sort of Mickey Mouse like 2 manacles together to try and fit it around your ankle to make
That's
it work.
actually pretty close to how I was imagining my wrists.
Yeah, it's not easy, but they have to just like sort of shoddily throw something together. And the guards are sitting nearby, but the 3 of you are sort of sitting off separate. And you see that Eustace goes to the back of the transport and is like rustling around, looking through stuff. And he pulls out just like a tiny little box that looks a little bit like a tiny little treasure chest, sort of. And he trots over to you guys and sets the chest down, opens it up. He starts reaching in, and he's like pulling out these little cloth things that have like little food items in it. He's just sort of laying it out, just very thoughtfully, just getting ready to eat. And he looks up at the 3 of you and just goes, "Oh, you guys have food?"
Well, I had food.
I did too, but you know, you took my stuff.
And then we got arrested.
Yeah.
But go ahead though.
Yeah, it's really
It's fine.
It's really polite to eat in front of people who can't eat. That's really cool.
It's
I have
not,
not
but
eaten
you can
since
go
yesterday.
ahead.
Eustace is just like, "Oh, okay," and then starts to like eat his like food, and then like stops and is like, "Wait, you said you had some food in your stuff?
Yeah.
Like your personal items?
Yeah.
You had food in there?"
Yes.
No.
I
No?
did. Well, I did.
Okay, well, you guys got picked up, what, yesterday? You guys got
Yes.
moved?
Mm-hmm.
And then he sort of looks over at the 2 guards who are eating off by themselves, and they're not really paying attention. They're talking to each other. And Eustace like looks around and gets like closer to the group and just says, "Well, the last thing we would want is for the food to go bad in your personal effects. It'd be horribly messy to clean up, and I wouldn't want to have to deal with that.
That
The
makes
government
sense to
wouldn't
me.
have to deal with that. So I think it would be best if we discard any perishables out of your personal items." And then he walks over, and on the side of the prisoner transport, he opens up like a little flap to the side, and there's sort of like a luggage carrier thing,
Mhm.
and you see that your personal effects are there. All your items, everything has been transported with you. And Eustace sort of rifling around, and he finds some food stuffs from each of your stuff, which has been tagged as for whose belongs to. And he walks back, and he sort of hands you guys some of your own food back. And Zana, you said you didn't have any food with you?
I did not imagine so.
Okay, that's fine. And he looks at you after handing the food to the other 2, and he's just sort of like, "Do Aasimar eat food?"
Well, yes, but I ran out by the time I was arrested.
Eustace has like by this point, like he had already like sat back down, grabbed his sandwich or whatever, and was just about to eat it again when he like hears you say that. And like you just see like on his face, he's just like, "Oh, that's so sad. No one should be arrested on an empty stomach." And he like rips his sandwich in half, and he gives you part of his sandwich.
Oh, so nice, Eustace. Thank you.
"Oh, you're welcome." And then he sits down, and he sits with you guys instead of with the guards. He like
Oh,
just
boy.
pulls up like a tiny little stone, and you can see like he's jazzed to be sitting with you guys and like actually paying attention to him. And he turns to you, Zana, and he's like, "When are you going to show me some of those road songs you know?" And he just like starts eating.
Oh, well, again, not road song, but lots of songs from hometown. I can try.
And his mouth is full by this point. He's like, and that's all you hear. And you guys eat some food on the side of the road, in the shade of a tree by a well. And
Amazing.
A delightful afternoon.
You know, I have nothing to compare it to, because I've never been arrested before, but this is a pretty darn good prisoner transport. You're really doing a
Well,
bang
it's
up
like
job.
vacation.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I do my best. Lord knows that between us four, some of the things that people have been getting picked up for by the local authorities has been, from an outsider's perspective looking in, legally thin. There's been a lot of prisoner transports and a lot of full cells for seemingly nonsensical reasons. And to be honest, given the amount of parchments to sign and transports to acquire, it's just so much work for people, in my opinion, that don't necessarily need to be locked up for a long period of time. They could just do something else, public service, something, anything. I don't know. Just seems like a waste to cram people like you into a prison cell.
Well, I appreciate that, but what's the kind of things that people like? What would justify someone actually needing to be locked up, in your opinion?
In my opinion, versus the kingdom of Devier, you mean? Well, let's just say, have any of you heard of Gregory Southman, who lived in Evren? You familiar with that legal case?
We?
Have.
No.
I don't get around much.
Well, to put it in this way, I didn't realize that you could get locked up for apple stealing, but apparently you can in Evren. So, yeah, they have sort of this no tolerance type deal to just shut down any would-be criminals. And my personal opinion, as someone who has to transport prisoners from place to place, it's a full-time gig. I don't get many days off because it's constant. It is continual. And in my personal opinion, the lunatics who are writing the laws in Evren have gotten a little bit mad with power, shall we just say.
Oh, that's no good.
No, it certainly isn't. Definitely doesn't make this kingdom a fun place to live when you're worried at any given point you might get arrested for something minor. And to be honest, that's why this isn't the first time I've had a prisoner transport diverted somewhere else. Usually, what ends up happening is some local governance needs help with some small affair, and they'll end up just having prisoners shipped off to handle the problem. Simple as that. So, in the best case scenario, maybe you guys won't have to do any jail time at all. Hopefully. Maybe they'll just... I really don't know what they'll be having you do in Montrace, to be quite honest. It's not a huge center of commerce anymore, as I'm sure you're aware. And they're quite unhappy about that. But, yes, well, who knows? Maybe your station in Montrace will be quaint. I can't imagine there would be many problems there outside of just, I don't know, everyday annoyance type stuff. Not a lot goes on there.
Well, let's hope. And
Sounds pretty boring.
Yes, you could say that. Again, and it would be just as true.
Sounds pretty boring.
boring is fine with me, as long as it gets us through today.
Evren blowing her hair out of her face, just... Oh,
Yeah,
just like,
pretty much, yeah.
I love it. So after you guys have finished with your meal, you guys get packed up back into the cart, and you guys head off on your way. And we will fast forward to you guys entering the Montrace area. You're not yet in Montrace proper, but you can see the village off in the distance. You take note of a couple things. So probably, I would say, 3/4 of a mile away from the town, you look off to the right, and you see figures moving about. There's wagons, there's horses, there's animals, there's flags of different colors, and you can see that there's a large timber of some sort being hoisted. It's at an angle, but people are pulling on some ropes and they're adjusting it to its full height. It is a huge pole. And as you guys get closer, you hear Colton up front sort of exclaim out loud. He's like, "What in the world are they doing?" And you hear Eustace from the front say, "Oh, I guess it is that time of year. I guess it's upon them already. God help the peacekeeper." And that's all you hear. And the guard in the back, like as you guys get closer, she sort of looks outside of the transport, makes note of what they're talking about, and leans back in and just says, "Well, if you guys are in town for the Karnak Carnival, that would be fun. Something to, I don't know, if you're able to get away for it, might be nice. It's not necessarily every day you get to go to the Karnak Carnival, considering they're constantly moving. It's kind of hard to tell where they're going to be. They have sort of a route they'll take every year. They'll be in a certain area, but it's never set in stone. But if you can get to the Karnak Carnival, that might be something interesting you could do. Maybe that's why you guys are here. Maybe they need help with it. Security? I don't know. But that could be something interesting you could do." And as the cart pulls, now you're side and side with it, it's a huge fairground that's being set up. And you see there are so many carny type figures, people in colorful outfits. You even see a couple performers practicing in the spare time. If there's too many people putting up a tent or something like that, other people are just sort of, doing their thing, juggling, throwing torches, flipping them around. You see two people on a tightrope, suspended not too far above the ground. Sort of looks like they're practicing. They've got the long pole out and they're walking with it and they're starting to balance. And standing nearest to the road, you only see this figure through the back of the prisoner transport after you've already passed it. But, there's dust coming up from the ground, from the wheels that are kicking it up. And as the dust clears, there's a single figure standing in the road that you just went across. And it is a little red-headed dwarf with his hands on his hips, standing with his legs apart. And he has this insane frill, and he's wearing sort of like a lion tamer ringmaster type fit. And there's this look in his eye, sort of a recognition, like he knows exactly this is a prisoner transport, those are prisoners, and he is just grinning ear to ear and is just sort of looking proudly as you guys enter the area. And after he's done looking at what he's doing, he sort of side-eyes the cart one more time and then heads off in the direction of the carnival to help set up some more. And the guard, the female guard, she wasn't looking back out that way, so she had her back straight forward. She didn't see the dwarf behind her. She's just sort of sitting in the cart, just sort of musing again, just sort of leaning on her hand, just sort of bored with it all. And she just says out loud, "It's almost over. You guys are almost here. You guys can go about your way. We'll go ours, and I will be one day closer to not have to hear one more of Eustace's road songs. It's almost over."
Good way
You
to
guys,
look at it.
you guys continue to travel forward. As you guys get into Montrace proper, which I'm now going to switch the map over to, so hopefully you can see it. So if you want to scroll down sort of the southernmost area, that's the road that you guys are coming up from, traveling north up into Montrace. You see, traveling on the same road that you are, but coming the opposite direction, there are figures dressed in black, and there's like a donkey pulling a cart. And the figures sort of move off to one side, but as they start to move, Eustace pulls you guys' cart off to the side, off road, like two of the wheels, and you hear him up front say, "Whoa, whoa!" And he pulls on the reins, and you guys sort of jut to a halt, and you all sort of bolt forward a little bit, and you're stopped. And the female guard in the back is like, "What in the blazes is he stopping for?" And she peeks her head out the back and looks to the side, and she goes, "Oh, fair enough. Funeral procession." And she just sort of goes back to what she's doing. And
Also sad.
yeah, you guys can now see the funeral procession as they move past the cart and off to the side. And so off to the left side of the road, the figures sort of break off and head in the direction. You're not super close. You don't see any headstones anywhere. But you can see that there are very obvious mounds of dirt with grass growing over top of them. Seems to be a very primitive graveyard with just a bunch of burial mounds. And you can see that there is one open grave towards the back of the burial mounds that they then sort of steer the donkey toward with the cart. And now you can see there is a casket being transported, a couple people holding the back of it just to make sure it doesn't tip or anything like that, and they are slowly escorting it. And leading that funeral procession, there is seemingly the only lady who's there. You can't see who they are. They're wearing a black veil, and they're sort of leading the procession off to the back of the burial mounds. So you guys, Eustace does the little, gets the horses moving again, and he takes you up past some of the buildings. So I'll just call your attention to them sort of as you see them.
Yeah.
So immediately off to your right, there is what I would call almost an estate. It is a huge, huge building. And it is, of all the buildings you've seen so far in the area, because there were a couple like sort of shepherdy type cottages out in the middle of nowhere that aren't really connected to Montrace proper. This is nothing like that. This is nice. But as you guys get closer to it, actually, you can see that Eustace actually takes this turn here and brings you guys around to this area. And you see that once you get closer, the building is clearly in disrepair. Windows are boarded up. Door is boarded up. There's a couple stained glass windows, sort of circular stained glass windows up towards like where the attic is. Those have been busted through with rocks or something. They're damaged. They're in disrepair. And Eustace keeps pulling the cart forward. Off to the left of Montrace proper, you see that there is some sort of religious structure. Sort of looks like a temple or a small church. But the most notable thing about it, it is horribly burnt. This building is in terrible disrepair. Most of the roof is gone. There's even some like plant life that sort of reclaimed the building for the most part. There's like a little tree that's sort of growing on top of like part of the roof. It is not in good shape, that church. It's not in good shape. Eustace pulls you guys forward and you reach it's a humble fountain. It's not super fancy. There's still some water in it. And out of all the things you've seen, this clearly has been upkept. It's clearly taken care of quite a bit. And off to the left, you see that there's a signpost above on this building that just says Sundries on it. And off to the right, you see another building that has a chimney that just has smoke going. Again, by this point, it's towards the evening. People are starting to light candles in the town. It's that sort of fall evening type vibe. And so there's smoke rising from the chimney of this place. And you see on the building off to the side, there is a very crude carving of a bumblebee. And underneath it, the words, "The Groggy Bee."
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, hell yeah.
And you guys, Eustace brings you guys forward. And you guys then pull up to this tiny little building up here. And there's horse stables there. And Eustace jumps off the cart, goes around to the back, sort of straightens his back, does the dad thing, like he needs to stretch after driving for a couple hours. Just does a couple stretches, and just says, well, we finally made it, folks, and sort of gestures out the back of the cart and just says, welcome to Montrace, the town the gods forgot. I mean, hold on, what was their tagline again? I can't remember what they call this place. That one didn't sound very nice. The jewel of the pasture. I can't remember what it's called. There's lots of sheep here. Okay. And then he walks off and like leads the horses. He unhitches the horses from the cart, brings them into this, which is like a stable. But you can see that there's another figure standing on the sort of porch area of that small building, dressed in this blue uniform. He's got like a low flat cap, and he's sort of leaning on a fence post with a thing of straw in his mouth, and just sort of solemnly shakes his head like, oh, no, this is trouble. And Eustace walks up next to him and doffs his pointed cap, because of course he has one of those. And the gentleman sitting next to on that post just sort of nods, gives him regards, and spins around on his heels, grabs like a little satchel, pulls it over his shoulder, gets up on top of a horse, and starts slowly trotting his way out of town off to the right over here. And Eustace turns to the rest of you, which now you've been ushered out of the cart by the two guards. And it's at this point that Eustace just like sort of gestures to the guy leaving town. He's just like, that guy is dedicated. They say that he has never, ever misplaced a delivery. Ever. Finest courier in the country. He might be the most impressive thing about Montrace, to be honest. That is extremely rare to have a switchback rider that devoted. That guy is everything I want to be. But for prisoners, he's awesome. And then he walks over to you guys, and Evren, he like, since you're all chained by like your feet, he like sort of grabs like your hand to like sort of lead you over to the building. He's just like, follow me this way, the three of you. Let me just get this introduction over and done with, and then hopefully you guys have a wonderful stay, I suppose. And the guards follow behind you.
Gracious.
You guys walk into this building here, off to the left of the little switchback station, and it's a meager building. There's a couple like low windows. Very bare bones building. Very boring. Very governmental. It looks very official.
If we're supposed to be seeing an image, I don't think any of us can see it right now. I think I can just see the map, like the world map. I don't know if you're trying to show something else.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do I get y'all to see that? That's interesting.
Yeah.
No.
Are you guys in as players or editors, I wonder?
There's a way to like switch the layers or something. I don't know how it works. I just know that's yeah.
On the screen right now, you guys aren't seeing anything.
Just the world map.
Montrace right here. Beret right here. You're very right there. Debbie
Okay,
right
hold on.
Yeah.
Let me see if. Okay. So are you guys seeing the little page toolbar thing? The little blue button with the page up at the top of the screen? It says page toolbar.
I don't.
I think that's a DM thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know how the DM can swap the page. I just know that that's
All right. Well, until I figure out how that works, I'm just going to stream it for you so you can see what you're supposed to see. Right
Sorry.
there.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I was like, I don't think any of us can see it.
No, you're totally good. So, mounds are off this way. Big fancy house over here. Ruined church right here. Sundries here. Groggy Bee there. Fountain there. Switchback rider station there. And government office there.
Okay.
So, you guys are escorted into the building by Eustace, and the two guards are flanking you guys behind. And Eustace has a little trouble with the door. It's a normal sized door, so he has to sort of like hop up a little bit to try and reach quite where the handle is.
Let me get that for you.
He turns to Marko with like a pleading, like, please just can you
So-
thank you.
I got you. Just.
Roll a strength check.
Oh gosh. Okay. Oh. Okay, 8.
Okay. You daintily open the door. It's totally fine. You go so slowly that the guards behind you are just like, oh, just open the door. Just like being so gentle with the door. But you open it up and you guys walk into it's not quite like a waiting room or anything like that. It's kind of like a large mud room. It's separated from like the actual office, and the two guards flank you guys to your left and your right. And Eustace walks up to the door and does the just raps on the door a couple times with his knuckles, and the door opens, and you see a human man with sort of salt and pepper hair, some long sideburns, shorter haircut, and just the largest like eye bags you've ever seen. This man looks exhausted. And he opens the door and he looks down at Eustace, and he bends down, gets on one knee, and he shakes Eustace's hand, and he just says, "Glad you made it, old friend. I was worried why things were taking so long." And Eustace sort of sheepishly like puts one arm behind his back and just goes, "Well, we did sort of stop along the way." And the figure, the man, just goes, "You had them stop for lunch, didn't you?" And Eustace is just like, "I told the guards it was protocol." And the two of them sort of like look at each other and then start chuckling to each other, like like they knew, like, yeah. And this figure is just like, "You were just hungry, weren't you?" And Eustace is just like, yes, I was very hungry. I ate breakfast, but not very much." And this man just goes, "Well, as long as you're in town, if you're staying the night, if you're at the Groggy Bee, just have dinner on me. Tell them it's a government expense, however you want to put it. Just put it on my tab." And Eustace is just like, "Oh, thank you. It's very, very gracious. This must have been a very good crop yield for all of you." And this figure is just like, "If by crop you mean wool, and to be honest, no, it wasn't a very good year. That's part of the reason why they're here," pointing at the prisoners. And Eustace just says, "Should I go now?" And the man is just like, "Yeah, you can go ahead and take your guards with you to the Groggy Bee." And Eustace sort of does like a double take, like, is that allowed? Like looking back and forth. And the guards sort of tighten their grip on their spears, almost like all of a sudden now they care about doing their job. And this figure, this man, just looks at over top Eustace and just says, "Get out of my office, please. I'll talk to the prisoners alone, thank you. In fact, get those manacles off. I hate the sound it makes as it goes across my floor. Get them off." And one of the guards begrudgingly, it's Colton, fumbles through, finds the key, and unshackles your feet. And Eustace walks past them and just sort of pats them on the arms, like, "All right, we're done. Let's go. We don't need to be here for this." And they all leave the administrative building in the direction of the Groggy Bee. It is at this point that the man standing in the doorway sort of turns sideways and gestures with his arm so that you guys can walk through on your own, and just says, "Please step inside my office." And he just sort of waits for you to walk through the door.
Oh, guys, he said please. We probably should.
All right. I mean, this
Right.
is most unusual, but very appreciated.
Watch your
Whatever
head.
you need.
Person I've talked to in days.
He looks at you, Marko, and just says, "Mind your head on the beam."
Oh, will do. Like I was about to run into it, just like had to dodge.
Swerve.
Probably the tallest person I've had in my office to date. So,
Would you believe me if I told you I was the shortest back home?
and he like looks at you, like sizes you up, and says, "Shortest."
Oh,
Yeah,
your family must be giant.
like you wouldn't believe.
Oh my gosh, are you, I'm so dumb. Hold on. If I'm screencasting.
I was
on.
not looking at it.
I wasn't.
Okay.
I turned
It's
it off.
okay.
I saw you. I saw you open that, and I was like, I'm gonna look away.
legit. My notes. I'm just gonna move those over here.
You're fine.
I just saw the word dark alley, and I was like, I haven't gotten there. I'm clicking away.
I just saw.
It's all good.
I saw the tab. It said DM notes. Like, nope, not supposed to say
Okay,
that.
cool. Thank
Oh, I
you.
saw,
That
I
was fun.
promise.
That was
Don't
like
worry,
if you
I
did an
covered
entire
that earlier.
campaign session with your DM board like down and like a mirror behind you or something like that.
Yeah.
My greatest fear.
Right.
So you see once you enter the office again, it's a fairly meager office. There's like a large desk. There's a window behind the desk. But just like standard fare furniture, there's a decently sized bookshelf with lots of books on it, some trinkets, some knickknacks. You see that there is a wolf skull mounted up on the wall. You also see that there are a couple paintings that are pretty nice. Like, they're pretty fancy. One is of Devier, the kingdom, and there's another that is sort of looks like the area you're in. There's sort of rolling hills, grasslands, pasture lands, dotted with some boulders here and there. And he gestures to 3 chairs that are in front of his desk for you and motions for you to sit down. Again, turning to Marko and just goes, "Be at ease. These are oak chairs. You're going to be fine." And then
That was going to be my question.
But yeah, he then sits down behind his desk, steeples his fingers, puts his elbows down on the desk, and just turns to you. And he makes his introduction. And he says, "I am Lionel Kestrian. I am the peacekeeper in this area. And as you have probably very well noticed, this is not the Noirast. Doesn't exactly take a genius to figure that out. But here you are, in the sleepy little villa of Montrace. So, in lieu of an official welcoming committee, I suppose I'll have to suffice. So, glad to have you all here."
But you are doing very good job.
Likewise, yes.
I feel very welcome already.
Happy to be here.
Well, that's good news, I suppose. I think it would be much worse to have a bunch of begrudging prisoners here at this time, so glad for the positive attitude on the whole situation. I have a proposition for the 3 of you, which, of course, you're welcome to refuse. But I might as well just talk you through your options from this delicate position you find yourselves in. As I was updated on you 3 prisoners, you were originally going to be escorted to the Noirast, of course, the High Court. And as you know, so far, anyone who has been charged and taken to the Noirast has been found guilty. Big surprise. And as it turns out, I am in need of some extra eyes and ears at the moment. I'm sure on your way into town, you noticed the Karnak Carnival is in town. And as he says that, like, one of his eyes sort of just like involuntarily twitches.
Yeah, we saw a dwarf on the way in, and a bunch of carnies setting up. Looks fun.
Yes. For people like you, who don't have to see to it that no drunken brawls or stabbings happen. It's a joyous occasion. And unfortunately, since the people in Montrace don't have many things to look forward to these days, I'm loath to refuse them their little pleasure. But every time they come through here, it is a nightmare for me. But that's neither here nor there. I asked you prisoners to be transported here for a very specific reason. It's a very simple reason. It's this. 3 months ago, some sheep went missing. Now, I don't know how much you know about Montrace. It's a shepherd's town. And not just any shepherd's town, it's the shepherd's town. And what I mean by that is the people here don't raise sheep for slaughter, they're only raised for wool production. Which means, as much as I don't understand it, they're like members of the family. So when one goes missing, people show up at my office all hours, banging on my door, demanding I do something about it, demanding that I find their lost livestock and their lost sheep, even though I don't know which one's been missing. I have so little to go off of. It's a wild goose chase every time. And it's now happened twice. First was 3 months ago. Second occurrence was last week. And with the Karnak Carnival coming up, I don't have time to spend my precious hours trying to locate these sheep. I just don't have the time. Karnak Carnival puts far too much pressure on me as it is to make sure everything goes smoothly and that the law is obeyed. So, instead of having the 3 of you prisoners transported to the Noirast, as is custom, instead I figured you would be more helpful here, helping me figure out where these sheep are going. For all I know, they've wandered off somewhere because some shepherd fell asleep on watch. I don't know. But all I know is, all I need from the 3 of you is to exhaust every possibility of where these sheep went, so that way, even if you don't find them, I can tell the people of this town that I investigated it to the best of my ability. Are we understanding each other?
I'm understanding
Yes.
this correctly. You're giving us a quest? You just see like his face is lit up.
Ooh, a quest. That's something I haven't done before.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
They're really great.
Evren's so embarrassed for them.
You guys are gonna enjoy this so much.
Going to go on a quest with my new friends Marko and Evren.
Yes. When there's a group of us going on one of these quests, it's called forming a party. It's really exciting.
Oh my goodness. Why
This
am I
is
here?
awesome.
Why am I here?
I turned to the other guy
Well.
like, we will do the best job finding the sheep.
Oh.
Yes. Sir Kestrium, was it?
Yes, Lionel
ex-
Kestrian.
We accept your request.
Lionel stares across the desk at you, Evren,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like head in your hands, sitting between these two, and it's just like, are you prepared to cooperate with this?
I have no problem with the quest, and she says that very begrudgingly itself. It's just I've never met 2 other people who were so excited about a quest is all.
To be
Why
honest,
wouldn't you be excited about helping people? These sheep are lost and we have a chance to fix it.
Lionel heard that, but is still looking at you, Evren, and is just like, I just need some extra hands here is all.
I know. I'm not saying I won't do it. I don't I'll have you'll have my full cooperation, I promise.
Much
You know,
appreciated.
I'm
And
just
on
doing
that
this thing.
and on that note, we might as well get some of the more serious matters discussed and out of the way. Sort of a disclaimer, and also just sort of running over the stipulations of our little agreement. I just need to make a couple things very, very, very clear to the three of you. The three of you were selected from that outpost because your crimes, if they can even be called crimes, were negligible at best, with practically no evidence to substantiate them. And the fact of the matter is, as patriotic as the people are in Evren, I don't necessarily share their sentiments on, well, lots of things. But there are certain things I must say in order to make sure that everything is official. So, let me make something abundantly clear. If you help me, I will personally see to it that your crimes, real or fabricated, are completely erased, done away with. They won't be on your record. I'll make sure you get out of here with as little trouble as possible, and you can go back to whatever life you lived before, and none will be the wiser. I can make this happen, believe it or not. I still have some friends in the capital. However, if any one out of the three of you try to leave, there are a couple issues with that I should make very clear to you. First and foremost, there is not another civilized town for well over 100 miles. If you take it out into the countryside, you will die of exposure in 3, maybe 4 days. If you manage to survive, which you won't, and you find yourself into another civilized town, before you enter the town, there will already be pictures of your face posted to every surface imaginable. Our courier system is quite adept. We can make it to any settlement in a matter of days, well before you will reach it on foot. And so if you do decide to run, you will never be able to set foot in another town for the rest of your lives. And I guarantee you, with as litigious as people are in Evren over the, in my opinion, ridiculous crimes that you've been accused of, what I will add to your records will cement your fate in the Noirast. So help me with this, and we won't have issue. The other thing that you should know is that since I'm going to need you to help me investigate what is going on, and you'll need to talk to the individuals in this town, I decided not to disclose that I was having 3 prisoners shipped to me. So I would advise, if you want to get anywhere with your investigation, not to make that fact known. As far as they're concerned, you're outsiders, you're visiting, you're helping me. That's all anybody has any idea about so far. But if I were you, I would keep the whole prisoner situation quiet, if you want to get anywhere with this. Another thing that should be mentioned is if you do end up doing some investigations late into the evening, out here in the wilds, sometimes, not all the time, but things happen. There are things that come down from the mountains, Lord only knows, present company excluded, that we're not always prepared for, which means, though it's not my first choice, I've decided to give you your weapons back. Your personal effects will be waiting for you in your rooms in the Groggy Bee, which the 3 of you have your own rooms up on the 2nd floor. I made sure to tell the innkeeper to get everything ready. What was the last thing? Let me think. Oh, yes. There are people in this town who have hated each other for actual generations. And yet, I warn you, if you mess with or injure any of the shepherds in this town, it doesn't matter if their ancestors killed each other. All of them will rise together as one, and they will kill you. Because that is how Montrace operates. It's a very closed-knit system. It's had to become so.
Well, I don't
Another
think we're going to
thing-
get a better deal than this.
One other stipulation, as part of your investigations, I keep saying investigations, again, even if you exhaust every lead, talk to every person in this town, find nothing, my conscience will be clear. But, for official reasons, at the end of every day, I want you all to report back to me. I will either be here in my office or in the tavern on the bottom floor of the Groggy Bee. Either way, I just want you to come talk to me, tell me what you did that day, anything you found, anything of interest, anything of note. Then I will relinquish you to do whatever you want. Within the limits of the law, I really don't care. It's just me here. I don't have anybody to supervise you. I'm not going to hold your hands on this one. But again, if even one of you steps out of line, the three of you will be punished together. Look,
Understood.
Oh, that's scary.
the people in this town are not normal. They're not cruel. They're not inhospitable. But the fact that you are outsiders is going to make things significantly more difficult than if you had already been living here for, say, like me, the past 30 years, in which they trust me enough. Since they don't know my parents, which still matters to them, they don't trust me all the time. But in most cases, I can persuade them. But something that you should be aware of is once you've decided what exactly you want to investigate, you will come tell me, so that way the next day I can have everything ready for you. Because if you decide to go talk to someone and they haven't been prepared properly, it's going to shut your investigation down early. They're not going to like outsiders walking up and asking them personal questions. So at the end of every day, you will report to me and you will tell me what you're planning on looking into tomorrow. Is that understood?
Yes, that seems very easy.
Crystal clear.
Yes, sir.
Look, I had very little information on why exactly you were thrown into that jail in that outpost. And to be honest, I don't care. Don't start trouble in my town, and we won't have issue. Fact is, I need some help on this one, so I would appreciate it if the three of you could work together to help me out with this and quiet some of the more negative and vocal people in this town who feel like I might be failing them since I don't have an answer yet. So I would appreciate your cooperation. Now, follow me. And he stands up, he pushes his chair back, and he motions for you guys to follow him outside of the building. And he starts walking down the pathway back to this sort of crossroads area, and he sort of just like gestures to the town in general and says, any and all of the places that you see in Montrace proper, if you'd like to investigate them, just let me know ahead of time and I'll make all the arrangements. The reason why we have to be this thorough is because I don't want any questions being asked after the fact of, why didn't you check this? Why didn't you check that? I don't want that to happen. So this is going to be extremely thorough. So if you have any questions about any of the structures in this town or any of the people in this town, feel free to ask me. Feel free to find me. But based on what time of day you need my help, I might be busy. Things around here with the Carnival are exceedingly stressful, and I might be tied up in other matters that are completely unavoidable. As you saw when entering the town, we do have our own switchback rider. He's quite accomplished. And that is the horse stable. Off this little building to our left. That's where the horses are, and it's just one tiny link in the chain that connects our great country to every other city. It's probably one of the best things that Devier's given us, to be honest. And he walks further down, starts walking you guys towards the fountain. That there, as you can see, the Groggy Bee. You probably saw it coming in. And let me tell you, Selena Mondo, the owner-operator, one of the finest chefs in the area. You will find no better food than at the Groggy Bee.
Are we allowed to imbibe?
As you say that,
What?
like, Lionel sort of, like, stops in his tracks, like, oh, I didn't even think of that. And just... And then Lionel, like, you can see that he just... Something clicks, and he just sort of makes a decision. And he says, sure. I don't see why not. Fact of the matter is, once you get some of these people, even the most tight-lipped shepherd might start opening up if you get him a little, you know... Might as well have drinks. Yes, exactly. Fact is, it's probably the main area of socialization in this town. If you ever need gossip, if you want to ask some questions, or if you just want to get a bearing on the area that you're in, the Groggy Bee Tavern is probably where I'd start. Let me think. You saw the fountain, of course, sundries if you need supplies, if you find out you need tools for something. I can requisition things for you, considering more than likely you'll be needing some extra change in your pocket. Just, if you come to me, tell me where you're going to be investigating, and you can tell me what you think you might need. I can get what you need from sundries, and then you can go pick it up. It'll be nice and easy. I know the owner. It's not a problem. Further off, you saw the church. Well, what's left of the Church of Joaquin. It's not in great shape, as you can see. It sustained the brunt of an assault a long, long time ago, well before I was commissioned here. But, as you probably heard me chatting with Eustace about, this town has fallen on troubled times. Fact is, wool yields have not been as good in the past 4 or 5 years, which means people are having to pinch more coin, be more thrifty. It's making a lot of people very uncomfortable. And since Joaquin is supposed to be a goddess of trade and whatnot, I don't think anybody really cares much about fixing up her place of worship. But if you do go there, more than likely you will run into Treese. She still believes, but to be honest, I'm not sure she's all there anymore. And the Croyburn Manor, as you can see. Croyburn, of course, one of the founding members of the town, died, of course, a long, long time ago. And his homestead has been effectively abandoned. No more living relatives, and to be honest, none of the shepherds in this area felt worthy of taking up residence in his house. So it sort of just sits there, a monument to a dead man. Because that's the sort of thing we have in Montrace. Monuments to dead people. And he sort of muses to himself and sort of just shakes his head knowingly, and walks you guys further up to this little area right here at the crossing right next to the Groggy Bee. And he turns to all of you and just says, any questions?
No, not really.
So where do the rest of the do the rest of the villagers stay?
There's houses, homesteads dotted here, there, and everywhere. As you can see, up to the north, up that way, so if you look at the top of the screen here, off that way, that's the direction of the Bracewell family, a bunch of shepherds. They made a name for themselves in security. They boast some pretty tough customers as their shepherds. According to them, they've never lost a sheep, which can neither be confirmed nor denied, but it's basically their claim to fame. Off to the west, off that direction, that would be the Lochran family wool mill. Technological wonder that has since been left to mostly disrepair. It works for the amount of wool that gets processed these days, which isn't much. But the owner-operator, Philippa Lochran, she does her best. Everyone in this place is just sort of trying to make the best out of a lousy situation. Off to the east, that's the Levex shepherd homestead. If you ask me, the Levexes and the Bracewells should be much further apart geographically. They do not get along. They hate each other. They have always hated each other. Then again, I've only been here 30 years, but based on everything I can tell, some wounds run very deep. That's all I know.
Well, that sounds dramatic.
Politics, gotta love it.
Yes, they don't see eye to eye. Lots of baseless accusations thrown here, there, and everywhere. The number of times that I've been called in to break up a fight between a Bracewell and a Levex is too many to count within the past 30 years. It's honestly insane, the amount of times it happens. I really wish they would just avoid each other entirely instead of risking being in the same room with one another. But I can't control everything in this town, clearly. So at this point, he gestures over. By this point, it's evening. The sun has officially sort of set behind the mountains, the Royals. And so the entire valley that you're in is starting to grow dimmer. And you can see the first couple stars start to blink out in the distance. And Lionel turns to the three of you and says, last point of warning here. The shepherds, as much as I think some of this is trivial, I don't come from shepherd stock, but for them, this whole thing is extremely important. If you want to ingratiate yourself, treat the situation with a level of respect you don't necessarily think it deserves. Again, to a lot of these people, these sheep are very important. They're not just their livelihood. They take care of them. They know their names. They can spot them from a mile off. They know everything about them. Again, I don't understand it, but when sheep start to go missing in this town, bad things happen. There's a cloud over this place ever since it happened. Neighbors not trusting each other anymore. People taking extra precautions that they didn't need to before. It's very unfortunate. What little joy and pleasure these people had in this town before is starting to be slowly but surely eroded by all these thefts. So, if you're interacting with any of the shepherds in this town, I recommend a more respectful tone. And then he opens the door for you guys into the Groggy Bee. And I will go ahead and I can pull up this for you all. Here we go.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Again, I told you guys before the session started, I don't have pictures for all these characters because I didn't feel like doing that because there'd be too many of them.
So real.
But you enter, You enter, there's tables everywhere, and it really does seem like this is the social spot in the town. Like, this place is crowded with people. There's pretty much, with the exception of like a couple of the chairs closest to like the bar right here, practically every seat's taken. And it seems like people have been in here drinking and hanging out for a bit. Like, when the door swings open, Lionel walks in first, and you can see that the townspeople sort of look up from their drinks, look back down at what they're doing. But then after the three of you walk in behind him, it gets so deadly quiet in the room. And all that you can really hear is like the crackle of the fire in the fireplace over here. And even the shorter, stouter lady who's behind the counter, she's talking to a patron over the counter, and even she stops and like looks in the direction of the doorway. And it takes her a second to like process what's going on, and then she waves over to Lionel, and she just sort of goes, "Good evening, Peacekeeper. Glad you could make it." And then Lionel sort of nods and sort of gestures to the three of you to step up to the bar. There's some empty seats there. You can see over in the corner, so this corner table up over here, it's the two guards and Eustace are sitting over at that table. And the two guards are like passed out drunk. They're like sawing logs, drooling on the table. And Eustace, he's a little bit tipsy, doesn't quite understand that they're like asleep, and is very clearly, very animatedly telling some sort of story to them across the table. And they're obviously not moving because they are zonked. They're out. But in the room, yeah, you see sort of an odd mishmash of races represented here. Vast majority are human, but you see, obviously you got Eustace, who's a gnome. You see what looks to be some sort of half-orc. You see an elf. You see a dwarf. It's sort of a patchwork of different races in this room. But yeah, once you guys entered, the entire environment just sort of a shroud sort of falls, where everybody's like looking at what's going on. And I imagine that you guys sort of walk in by height. So Evren steps in first confidently, and then Zana walks in, probably just like, waving or something cheery, something nice. And then of course,
when all the eyes are on her, she's be like, "There's so many new people here. Hello."
I think after Zana does that, she's gonna turn back, be like, "Don't wave to them."
They're so nice.
No, no.
No, that's great. And then, of course, Marko bringing up the rear, again, having to just, like, crouch sideways to get through the door and, like, walk in. And once you walk in, there's actually, like, one or two of the old farmers, the farmers that have the longest beards in the room. A couple of them, let's say, over at this table here, they're playing some primitive form of cards. You can hear audibly a couple of the chair legs squeak as they push back away from the table, and they immediately rest their hands on some small, just like daggers that are in their leather belts. And then Lionel sort of casts a glance over at their direction, and their eyes are sort of trailing from Lionel back over to you, sort of like, problem, just sort of scanning. And Lionel, like, takes his hand and just sort of motions, like, down, like, we're all good here. And they put the knives away, but they are mean mugging the daylights out of you, man. These two old dudes are staring daggers at Marko. And they're not. They're drinking, but, like, they're looking at you over their mugs, just, like, locked in, looking at you.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll have to buy those two a drink. Just mutter to the others.
Why?
I don't know, but something tells me that's the move here.
Great, what a great little town.
I don't know why it would tell you that. That seems weird.
Well, they might not deserve it, but clearly something's gone wrong. And, if we're gonna need to investigate, might as well get in the good graces of even those that might despise me.
You guys are way too
Oh,
nice.
so we buy people that don't like us beer. Okay.
So outside of obviously the two guards that are asleep in the corner and Eustace, who doesn't even notice you guys are there. Again, he's in his own little world. And all the people who stopped to just sort of take in the view of the three of you walking in. You actually see a half-elf with like a very short cropped hair sort of emerge, sort of push through the crowd of people who are still sort of frozen. And he looks at the three of you with sort of a neutral expression at first, looks over at Lionel again, back over there, and then sort of gestures up to the bar, up right where the proprietor is, and just says, "The three of you can drink with me." And he sort of gestures over to where Lionel's sitting up at the bar, with the owner sitting behind the counter. And yeah, you guys can do whatever you want in here.
Okay. I'm gonna think about that for a minute. I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Bio break?
Bio break.
If you guys have to take a bio break, go for
You
it.
can take
That's
a bio
totally
break,
fine.
if
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Cool.
Please,
Yeah.
I would love.
Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna pause the
Gives me
recording.
time
me
to think
time to
about
think
what to do. Yeah.
We got the recording back up?
Yep.
Sick. Because again, I might need this for a reference later because I'm about to probably make up some stuff.
That's
Okay.
fine.
So, what just happened was this half elf, short cropped hair, sort of a close shaved beard. It's an older looking elf, or an older looking half elf, as it were, is gesturing you guys to come sit with him and Lionel up at the bar, where Selena Mondo, the owner of the Groggy Bee, is pouring some drinks. And yeah, you guys have the run of the room. Also, something that I forgot to mention, just gameplay wise, at any point, if you guys would like to make rolls for things, if you would like to gauge whether a vibe that's weird,
Yeah.
literally anything, you let me know and roll for it. Anything. If it's like, I want to know if this, can I roll to see if this person is lying? Like, am I picking any weird vibes up? Like, feel free to make rolls if and when you want to. Or if you want me to describe something in the room or you want more details, whenever, just let me know and we'll make a roll for it. But yeah, you guys have the free run of the room. All these tables are full up, save for the stools up by the bar.
Okay. I think first thing I do, I have 10 gold coins in my possession. I would look at the menu and I want to see what the costs of the drinks are.
Okay. So you're sort of fiddling with your money, or you got your coins in your hand and you're trying to like figure out, okay, how much is this going to cost me? And Lionel, who hears the coins, sort of turns towards you and is like, no, come with me. You're on mine.
Oh, I see. You say that, but I was thinking about buying drinks for everyone here, for starters.
Like the whole floor.
Lionel's eyes get so wide. He's just like,
But if you insist, I mean, by all means.
he turns to this is good. He turns to Selena with like a pleading look, and she just like looks at him. She's like chuckling to herself a little bit, like you've overextended yourself. Like, of course the guy was gonna buy a round for the whole thing. And she nods and she just pats Lionel's hand and just says, discounted for you. And Lionel turns back over to you and just says, well, go ahead and say it.
Hi. Free drinks on the house, on me. I'm happy to be here.
You could hear a pin drop in this room right now. And the two old dudes who are staring daggers at you are still just like awkwardly, just like they're still like trying to like eat, but they're just like not taking their eyes off you. And Eustace in the back corner drunkenly raises his mug and just goes, "Hooray!" And he's the only one who makes a noise.
Maybe something special for those
Yeah,
two.
thank you so much, Marko.
Love the beards, by the way. Something special for you two.
Wow.
And he just kind of goes like.
Oh my god.
These old dudes are now like they're awash with confusion and they're like looking at each other like, what is going on? And yeah, so like one by one, eventually, it almost seems like the people in the room are sort of like trying to feel out who's actually going to go get their free drink first. Kind of like a test to see like who'll actually get up. Yeah. There's like a freaking hair in my mouth while I'm trying to talk.
Oh.
Yeah, don't like that. You guys got your snacks. I didn't ask for that. I just got a little snack for myself. But yeah, do you guys want to sit down? What do you want to do? So right now, sort of trickling one by one, people are going up to go get their drinks. And Selena starts making her rounds. She like loads up a tray of beer, of mead, sort of an assortment of random stuff, and is just sort of carting it over to the tables. People are standing up, grabbing whatever they want off the tray. And Selena makes it over to the three of you and offers the tray to the three of you. And she just says, "Well, that was certainly an impression you've made." And she very optimistically to you, specifically Marko, trying to make you feel better. Like,
I'm just trying to get some brownie points is all.
Ooh, brownies are really good right now.
Did you have any tips?
Let's see. Oh, here's one. If you sit down at a shepherd's table without an invitation, don't do that. I cannot stress that enough. People here are very specific about who they sit down with. So, you know, I wouldn't advise just sitting down anywhere, if that makes sense.
Ask first. Got it. Thank you.
Sure. Just don't get your hopes up.
Is there any like indicator of where they sit so we know not to sit there? Or is it just like everyone knows?
Everyone knows, honey.
Great.
Usually the bar seats are usually the last to go, and usually not people's favorites, but, you know, I would avoid most of the tables. Actually, all of the tables, unless you get invited over to one.
Duly noted.
These shepherds, they know where they like to sit, and that's where they sit.
Well, it's good to have a favorite seat. You can be comfy.
Yes, I structure is nice.
This is my favorite seat.
Yeah. I'll be sitting where you're sitting.
Selena, sort of after you started talking, Zana, like Selena, like turns abruptly towards you and she's like, "I love your accent. Where are you from?"
Heaven. Thank you so much. You're so kind.
Selena looks so confused right now and just goes, "Well, I've never heard of that place. Well, glad to have you here. Any specific drink you might be interested in?" And again, she's offering out the tray for the three of you to take your drinks.
No, thank you. I don't drink alcohol.
Oh.
I think Evren's
really?
gonna take a mead and just look
Maybe
at Zana.
Yes, really.
Like, are you sure? You want to try it?
No, I'm okay. I knew someone that did. He got sick. I don't like being sick, so I do not want to.
Well, if you're not gonna have it, then, well, I could help you out.
Oh,
Whoa,
do you
whoa,
think
whoa,
you could
whoa.
help me find someone to take it?
I think there's someone who would gladly take it.
I think
But
Evren's gonna lean in.
isn't
She's
it?
gonna be
He
like,
looks like he enjoys it.
I think Marko wants your drink. Which is
Oh,
cool, but I should also get half of that because, yeah, I need a drink. It's been a day. If he's okay with that.
We could share it, perhaps.
If you don't mind, I really need something after today. It's been a lot.
All right, if you're sure, Zana.
yes, I'm fine without it.
Well,
Yes,
if
please.
you won't be drinking with us at the Groggy Bee, might I tempt you with some of our delightful bread and honey?
I love bread.
Oh, excellent. I bake it all myself. I'll just go fetch some from the back. And she
Perfect.
puts the tray down on the table, heads off into the back, and like whatever storage area she's got back there, when she opens that door, just a waft, just a wave of just like bakery smell hits you. Whatever's back there, Selena knows how to cook. This is exactly what Lionel's talking about. It smells like fresh bread in this place. It
Is she a
smells so good.
one woman show? There's no cook back there. She's just
Yeah, you don't
holding
see
herself?
anyone other than her operating the place.
The Groggy Bee singular,
Mhm.
not plural. This is not a hive.
This is
the Rocky Hive.
but yeah. So you guys take your drinks, your various assortment, and Selena again gestures you guys forward towards the bar, puts just a giant loaf of fresh bread on there and a tiny little jar of honey with one of those little dripper things and just like a little knife for you to cut it with, and sets it on a plate specifically for you, Zana. And she goes back to picking up the tray and sort of walking around, giving everybody their free drinks. And the half-elf who originally invited you to sit with him, once you guys get closer to the bar, sort of gestures to the 3 seats that are between him and Lionel and says, we outsiders got to stick together, don't we? And he sort of winks and smiles. Again, sort of like an older half-elf guy with like a gray beard and just like a really awesome smile.
I can't say no, I suppose.
I mean, that's any friendliness here is probably good for us. So, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Mighty nice of the big fella there offering everybody a free drink.
Yeah, we're just trying
With
to...
our friend Lionel's wallet.
Sounds like we have some business here, so just wanted to get off on the right foot with people.
Oh, you're here on business, are you?
Not by choice, but we'll do whatever we can to help if we're going to be here.
I suppose that's fair. Not everybody who winds up in Montrace necessarily envisioned themselves coming here to live.
I'm actually trying to get to Devier.
Oh, the big city, eh?
Yeah.
So you're trying to get to Devier by way of Montrace. That's definitely a route.
Again, it wasn't my choice, but you could tell that he realizes he has to be very careful with his
I
words.
think Evren, as he says, like it wasn't my choice
I can't
twice.
be completely. You can't be completely truthful without setting off some alarm bells.
Mm-hmm.
I think, he says that twice, like, I wasn't here by choice. I imagine we're probably sitting next to each other. She's just gonna, like, kick him. Like, kick his leg, be like,
Oh, I mean, yeah. This was our first stop, and then we'll go there next.
He holds out his hand in greeting and offers to shake your hand, and he announces himself. He says, "My name is Auguste Millet.
Pleasure.
I suppose you're all the new people in town now. I guess that specific honor and title has been stripped away from me at last. And he sort of laughs to himself. And then he turns over to Lionel and he says, "So you finally brought someone in about the wolf problem, I see." And when he says that, there's a couple people who, like, again, stop what they're doing. Like, the tables nearest to y'all, right? Like, these three right here, they just, like, stop. Like, some people, like, fork halfway to mouth, stop, look up after he says that, and Lionel turns to Auguste and just, like, puts his hand on his hand and just goes, "Please stop. Before you even start, we're not starting that. Not here, not now. Now that all the farmers and shepherds are in for the day, don't do this to me, Auguste." And Auguste is like, "Well, I just figured that's why you have these 3 warrior-looking types here. Why else would they be here if not to solve the problem?" And Lionel is just like shaking his head. He's like, "For the last time, I'm going to tell you the same thing that I've told you since the day you arrived. There are no wolves here in Montrace. I've made that a priority. Considering that there haven't been any here in 100 years, do you think I want to be the one who lets a wolf in after 100 years, Auguste? It's been my top priority. I've done everything within logic. I've even gone as far as to hang a ward in my office. I've done everything you people have asked of me. All right? I'm telling you, there are no wolves in Montrace anymore. Their ancestors killed a lot of them, drove the remainder into the mountains. They're not a problem anymore. If they were, I guarantee you we would have found out by now." And Auguste sort of like shakes his head and sort of leans over to you, Evren, and is just like, "He doesn't believe."
I think she's just gonna give him the most neutral expression she can, and just be like, yeah, that's it."
It's at this point that Selena comes back behind the bar and starts talking with Lionel about something involving the tab, and then Auguste sort of turns over to you, Zana, and just like, "Well, listen, while you're in town, I just recommend you keep an eye open, all right? So, 3 months ago," and he keeps looking around, he's like trying to talk quietly, I saw a wolf." And he like says it like it's like a monumental thing. "If you can believe that."
Is that it?
"Well, of course. That's not happened in who knows how many years. I mean, the wolves aren't supposed to be here anymore. But the fact is, I was out doing some work for the Bracewells, out late one night. Every once in a while, well, the Bracewells are pretty much the only family who will hire an outsider. They just need some tough customers who know how to work a blade. I was out late one night, and I swear on my father's eyes, I saw a wolf on the ridge overlooking town."
Oh, that's very.
He's got like the widest, craziest eyes going. He's just.
Is he talking to all of us or just Zana?
At this point, his hoarse stage whisper is just complete. He's looking at Zana, but the two of you can clearly hear what he's talking about.
Okay.
Well, that's imposing. That's scary.
You're telling me. Now, it wouldn't be that large of a problem if it weren't for the wolf's curse. And he looks around like he's got like a fun little piece of information.
The wolf is cursed.
Marko's eyes just light up at the word curse.
He says, "Well, Legend has it, the folks who lived in this village before it was known as Montrace. Maybe you saw that large fancy house near the edge of town?
Yes.
That fella, his ancestors, they drove the wolves out of Montrace. Single-handedly, they say.
Oh, that's not what I thought at all.
Croyburn, their family name was. They drove the last of the wolves out of the area and out into the mountains. But the problem was, well, Croyburn started having what the priestess at Joaquin's temple delicately titled visions. Croyburn started writing them down, documenting every dream he had after they drove the wolves out. And this Croyburn, see, he had this dream one night where a bunch of wolves turned into men and walked back into town. I know.
Where?
Huh?
Where are the
No, I mean werewolves.
Oh.
Yes, that's what I asked. Where are they?
Song will never change, please.
Well, listen here, it was only a dream. But ever since that time, folk have been putting wolf skulls inside their houses to ward the evil wolves away, because they're afraid someday they might come back. And since I've been here, I've been hearing all about it. I've cataloged it, I've done research into it. I find it very fascinating. The whole story of Montrace is just so fascinating to me. But, again, all of it was just wind until I saw that wolf up on that ridge that night. And unfortunately, the peacekeeper here, he doesn't believe me. He thinks I was drunk. If you can believe that. Takes a giant draft of his drink.
It's not impossible.
That's what I keep trying to tell him. It's the strangest thing. He doesn't want the people in the town to get worked into a frenzy, but I think he's doing them a disservice by not warning them. I mean, I saw it with my own two eyes. What more evidence do you need?
Well, if every building is warded, does this tavern have one?
And he sort of has this look on his face like, oh crap, does it? Does it? He looks around, and sure enough, you notice that there is one above the entranceway on the inside of the building. Yes, there is one. And he points to it, says, see? Everyone's got one. You need one if you have a house anywhere nearby. If you don't have one, someone from this town will get you one.
What do the wars even do?
You see just blank look on August's face. Just, well, I don't know. There hasn't been a wolf attack in 100 years, so I suppose they might work. I don't know. I only got here a few years ago myself. Started work as an itinerant shepherd, picking up work wherever I could. I don't own any land around here. I came out after I retired from the army. Not a bad place to while away one's later years, I suppose.
It's quiet.
Very quiet, except for that Karnak carnival that's coming into town.
Oh, this is going to be very cool.
I'm
But
starting to
very
see
loud.
why people might not be excited for this carnival.
Oh, you mean all the random colorful strangers and animals that just so happen to be nearby? Yeah, that tends to put people on edge.
But that's so exciting. It's so much new stuff.
Oh, I love the carnival. When I lived in Devier, I went to see them every chance I got.
This place is so fun, but so weird.
It seems like the kind of place you go to when you don't want things to change.
No one likes carnivals. No one knows what heaven is.
We
Okay, so the two of you who have taken a drink, I'm gonna go ahead and have you guys roll Constitution.
Oh heck yeah!
wonderful. I was waiting for that.
You can do this, Natalie.
Natalie, please keep it going.
No, not
Oh,
with.
that
This is a
was-
different character. No, she better con save.
I got a good roll. Good roll.
She got 12.
12.
I got a
Okay.
21.
Damn it.
Ooh. Okay. So
Actually, that would be a 23 if I hit the right button.
I'm gonna do what normally would happen in combat. Tell me how you do this.
Okay.
Explain to me how Marko, with his 2 giant beer steins, what is he? How do you do this?
He probably, like when people drink water bottles and they just fold it up and drink it in one go.
Oh my god.
He probably does
That's
it like
fucking sick.
he probably does one and just goes like one gulp, like, and then does another one and just does it again, and just tries to contain his like a massive belch and just goes like, "Excuse me."
How loud do you put the cups down?
He probably is used to slamming it home, slamming it on the table back home, but he goes like and catches himself like.
When you lay it gently on the table, cutting across the opposite side of the room, you just hear a drunken, high-pitched voice go, "Sweet heavens of Joaquin!" And then you hear like a thud and like some silverware hit the floor. And Eustace is just, his eyes are just wide, staring at you across the room, and then turns. There's like a patron with his back turned, not paying attention to Eustace. And Eustace is just like hurriedly slapping him on the back, saying, "He just drank 2 wolfsbanes in 3 seconds." And he keeps hitting this random shepherd on the back. And the shepherd finally like looks over and says, "What do you want?" And Eustace just points and says, Wolfsbane. Two of them. Him. He drank both. Fast. And then Eustace just like slumps. And the one shepherd who looked in your direction looks over at you, Marko, sees the glasses right there,
He just goes, "Wow,
And-
it was quite good."
and stares down. He's got one in his hand, and he's just been nursing this thing like since you got there, just taking little sips. Stares back up at you, stares back down at his drink, and then like stretches his shoulders. And he goes to
Oh, no, don't do
drink
that.
it. He tries to slam it like you just slammed it.
Don't do that.
He tips it back. He gets like 3 seconds in, and like he just like starts spluttering. Like it's too strong. Like he can't do it. And he like slams it back down on the table and is just trying to get his bearings. And everybody at his table just erupts in laughter. All these shepherds, all these hearty laughs. And 2 of the 2 older gentlemen who are sitting at that table, I want you to go ahead and roll charisma.
Okay, just straight charisma.
Yep.
Okay.
Straight up charisma. Actually, you know what? Since you rolled so well on your constitution, roll it with advantage.
Okay, that's good because I got a 10. Okay, that's not much better. I got a 10.
A 10. Okay, you got a 10. So one of the 2 old dudes who was super, super mean mugging you earlier, one of the 2 sort of looks at the other shepherds laughing, looks over at Eustace, who's out, who is being funny, and looks over across at you, Marko. And this older shepherd lifts his glass ever so slightly. It's a wolfsbane. He tips it, slams it just like you did, sets it down, and just sort of nods once. And that's it.
Nod back at him. Just nod once. Maybe
All right,
give him like
Evren.
a thumbs up.
Okay. All right. Evren, you rolled a 12.
Yeah, I did.
So, you had mead, which is lucky for you. You did not have a wolfsbane.
Yeah.
The mead is much lighter.
Yeah.
However, you immediately feel like you need to eat some bread.
Okay.
Because you know this is going to be really bad if you don't soak that up fast.
Okay. Is there bread on? Is there bread on the table?
There is a giant, comically oversized loaf of bread on the table. Yes.
I think once she has that feeling, she's just gonna go and just pull off a piece and scarf it.
A hunk of bread. Absolutely, absolutely. Selena, just like nobody had like touched the bread yet, maybe besides Zana, and she sees that you're just tearing hunks off the bread, and she's just like, she just looks sort of satisfied, like she likes my bread. Like it's a very proud look. So at this point, you hear the door open behind you, of the front door, and yet again the room goes quiet. But it's not the same as before. The room goes quiet, and you see every single shepherd in the room. The guards and Eustace are out. All the shepherds from Montrace, including Auguste and Lionel, stand almost in unison, scooch their chairs back, and everyone just goes quiet. And a woman dressed in all black with a veil over her face walks in to the Groggy Bee. And as she moves towards this larger table here, people are clearing out of the way, people are moving stuff, and one of the shepherds gets up and like scoots the chair back for her. And she takes a seat, and he goes and sort of just leans nearby on a wall, and just so he can continue his conversation, but he gives her his seat. And then after she's seated, everybody sits down again, and they start conversing again. But that long table takes the conversation a little bit longer to liven up a little bit more. Still very quiet at that end of the room.
And just whisper like it's a funeral.
Right.
Now everything's so somber.
Lionel finishes his conversation with Selena and says, "Actually, that's an unfortunate reminder. I need to go sign a death document for the capital. I might be back later on, or I might just go straight to my room, if that's fine, Selena." And she nods. And Lionel turns to the three of you and says, "Don't let Auguste get you into any trouble. And don't let him fill your heads with any fantasies either. You're here to investigate a very serious, very normal disappearance of sheep. Just don't let him get you carried away." And then Lionel heads out of the door. And Auguste sort of, snarkily as he leaves, like raises his glass to him as he leaves. And turns back to the three of you and says, "That there's Dahlia Cromwell. It was her father who just, passed away. One of the final veterans of the Shepherd's War, so kind of a big deal."
Shepherd's War.
Afraid I'm not familiar.
The first time that you've seen him display any sort of actual like fear of talking about this in this room, and he sort of looks around, looks over his shoulder, and he says, "Not here. Not now. Especially not with the lady here. Certainly not.
Wouldn't want to disrespect anybody.
Certainly not. And but if you run into me tomorrow, I could fill you in."
I just may do that. need as much context as possible if we're going to be staying here.
That's pretty smart. Not only
Yeah.
that, but you might end up assimilating a little bit faster than I did. Yeah, I wish somebody would have given me a history lesson before I started accidentally making enemies out of every single shepherd here. But, that's just me.
Yeah. Don't want to say things that get us in trouble.
That's great. Good to know.
August stands up and he says, it's taken me a few months, but I think very soon I might be invited over to play cards at that table. And he points over to the table with the two older gentlemen. And there is one other person sitting over there. There is one vacant seat. And he says, that chair's been calling my name for months now. It's only a matter of time. I just have to not put my foot in my mouth. And I should be all right.
That would be very hard to do.
That's an expression,
You need to be
Zana.
so flexible.
I don't think he meant it literally. It's an expression. It just, yeah.
Difficult as that may be, it seems rather easy to get on their bad side. I think I did something right with the drinks, but I don't know if I want to try anything else, knowing so little.
Yes, the whole free drinks thing was a masterstroke. That wasn't bad at all. But, unfortunately, we're all still outsiders, so we have to know our place here.
Even after over a year. Wow.
Yeah. Yes. These people are slow to trust, but once they trust you, they'll die for you. It's a complicated situation.
It's very good to know.
Interesting one, though.
If you would like to investigate the room or ask any questions about the patrons, feel free to. Otherwise, that's totally fine. It's more for flavor, honestly. Only if you want to.
I'm trying to think.
My only thing would be, I'm afraid I don't know too much about you two, beyond what we discussed on the road, but either you happen to be spellcasters, mages.
Why?
Not really.
I'm curious about these wards. And I know not about magic know-how. Oh.
I mean, I do nature magic. I don't know if that's really the same thing as ward magic or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I don't really do magic. I more so just punch and fire happens. Sometimes wind, it's a different.
So we have a shaman and a martial artist.
Zana, after you say that, August looks down at his drink, and it's like empty, and he's just like, I think that's my cue to leave. And then August like scoots his chair back. He says, it was a pleasure meeting the lot of ye. Hope I'll be seeing more of you around town. And yeah, you all have a good night's rest. You'll be happy to know the beds in this place, like heaven.
You have a good
Oh,
night
that
too,
must
good
be
sir.
really good then.
Yes, it's like resting on a cloud.
Never had a bed like that.
I normally
it's
sleep on the
very
ground.
good.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you could do that too. The floors are nice, I suppose.
We'll
Or a
figure it out.
cot. It depends.
However you sleep that way. And then he just like walks out of the groggy beam, and you hear a commotion in the corner, and those two guards are starting to come to a little bit. Colton and Zwara. They sort of shake themselves awake a little bit. It's been a long day. And they walk back over to the stair steps right up here that leads to the second floor. And the two of them walk up, just leaving Eustace to fend for himself. Eustace, at this point, is using a chair to sort of pull himself up off the floor. And he starts trying to walk straight towards the bar, but is having a little sea legs situation.
No, I get it. Come here, little buddy.
He manages to wobble his way all the way up to the bar, and Eustace is like, he like plops down after like climbing up a little bit and just sort of seating himself on one of the bar stools, and then just goes, and he points his finger right in Evren's face, and like he's about to say something, but he's not actually saying anything.
I think she'll just kind of lean back a little bit when he gets in, like...
The further away you get, the further his finger and his body is going, until finally he just falls off the counter and onto the floor.
Oh my
God.
And then he jumps up really quick, and then he goes, I just remembered my favorite road song. And then he starts swaying a little bit, and then he stumbles over to a chair in the corner where, of course, there's a lute unattended.
Keep an eye on him and make sure like that woman in dressed in black is like not disturbed. The moment I notice something, I intervene.
Yeah, he's gonna play "Not Like Us" by Kendrick Lamar. He picks up the lute. He picks up the lute, and he's about to strum, like he's getting his hand ready, but he keeps missing the strings, so he's not really playing anything. He's just sort of air guitaring over the strings, and he's like,
No.
Let's do the one from our long journey together, friends.
All right, he got us to Montrace. The least we could do is get him to his room.
Oh, look at him. He's trying so hard. I'm proud of him.
He fills his lungs for his first song note, and it just immediately lapses into a snore, and it just goes... and he just falls over on top of the lute, which makes just a sour like boom, like string noise.
Like 2 or 3 times now. I'm gonna go over and get him.
He's lying flat over top the lute, just bent over it, just asleep. He's out.
Fucking Zana turns to the other two, and she's like, "And that's why I don't drink."
Certainly not healthy.
Well,
I'm gonna try and scoop him up.
I mean, as long as you don't go overboard like that, then you should. Oh, why do I
roll for scooping?
What check would that be?
Strength.
Sleight of hand for you, buddy.
Okay. That's good. Modified 20.
Okay, modified 20. So you in one fluid motion, you just point your fingers and just like you just got him. He's like a baby. His arms are down and his legs are down, and so his entire body's just resting on your arm, and you're just sort of cradling him like a football, just like you got him. And Selena behind the bar looks over,
just gonna ask
and she says,
his room is.
"Yeah."
Like, hey, Selena.
Before, she looks at you, looks at Eustace, and before you even have to ask the question, she just says, "Up the steps, down the hall, furthest door on the right."
Up the steps, down the hall, furthest door on the right. Got it.
Right. Thanks for doing that, sweetie. I warned him not to try the kid's cup full of the drink, but he insisted.
He's a little much.
You could have stopped the sentence at "he's a little," and that would have been fine.
Is that because he's a gnome?
Yes. Well done. You got it.
Very rude. That's
I'm
a
right
little
here,
rude.
guys.
He was very kind to us today, though. We'll make sure he's settled.
Well, he's little, but he makes up for it in volume.
Yes.
Oh, he's a little loud.
Oh, by the way, Lionel told me. And she turns around and she grabs 3 keys off of 3 little nail hooks and just like passes them out to the 3 of you. And she says, your rooms are up the steps. They're the first 3 that you see once you reach the top of the steps. First 3 in a row. You can take your pick. Let's see. Breakfast isn't till 9. We don't start serving till then. And we're pretty open all day if you need to stop in for anything, any vittles or anything of the sort. I'm always putting about.
Great. How do we tell when it's 9?
Oh, easy. I usually bang on a loud pan.
Oh, can't miss that.
No, certainly not.
Listen for a loud pan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I usually have birds that wake me up back home, so I guess that's, yeah, loud noises, cool. Cool.
Oh, birds are so nice.
Yeah, until
I shall treat.
Yeah, never mind.
Do the birds no longer sing where you live?
They do, it's just that... What? She's just confused. She's confusing herself.
Oh, you're homesick.
Yeah, Marko was gonna say something cheerful, and it was just gonna go like, do you miss home?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be here if I didn't have to be.
I take it that's where you're going next, then.
Pretty safe bet there, buddy, yeah.
Selena she's like sits back away from the counter a little bit and just sort of looks wistful and is just like, if you like being woken up to birds, the bird song in this area is, well, it's pretty special. Make sure you leave your window open just a crack and you'll hear it.
Yeah, it may not be your birds, but their birds seem quite nice.
We haven't even seen their birds.
I guess we will in the morning.
I guess we will.
Their birds seem quite nice.
But it's their
Such
church.
a
don't
W
know.
sentence. I love that. So, unless there is anything that you guys would like to do, well, first of all, you guys want to take Eustace to his room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go ahead and get to the
gently lay
second
him on
floor.
his-
There we go.
on his bed.
We'll get you guys to the second floor. So you guys walk up the steps and you see the rooms that she's talking about. There's rooms on either side of the hallway, flanking the left and right. And yeah, you guys can choose which room you're in. Eustace is obviously at the far back. His room is right over here. So you guys walk past and you assume, based on the fact that there are lights under both of the first 2 doors, that the 2 guards are staying here for the night as well. They each have their own room.
Okay.
But you take Eustace to his room, and Selena gave you his key, and you open it up, and it's a very nice room, like all things considered. It's very quaint, very rustic, but very quaint. And there's a nice little window and a tiny little writing desk in the corner, and probably one of the most comfortable looking beds you've ever seen in your life.
Nice.
And it's at this point that Eustace, who's still mostly not all there, once you like help him off with like his hat and everything, and like just like lay him on the bed, he just starts to like sort of starfish out and just stretch as far as he can. And he is just absolutely, I mean, he's a gnome, so this bed is like huge compared to him. And he looks immediately in a restful sleep.
What an amazing little creature. I'm glad to have met him.
He's silly. Then she
actually
turns
quite
to
liked
to
him.
her room.
Yeah. He's silly. Good night.
Okay. So, unless there is anything downstairs or in the town proper, it's dark out by this point, but you guys still have complete free reign to go back outside, go back downstairs, or go to bed. It's up to you.
Well, I don't want to go out and about if no one else does.
Well, I could go out if we want to do a little bit of investigating. But then again, I don't want to arouse any suspicion. If this is the time people retire. What do you think?
Might be
Evren?
weird.
I think we shouldn't do anything without talking to Lionel first, like he said.
Agreed.
That is fair.
So if
Trying our best to follow the rules.
he made that very clear that we need to talk to him before we go and do anything, just so we don't cause trouble with the locals here.
Yeah, last thing I want is to get arrested again.
Yeah.
Especially
then,
after being dealt a hand this good.
Right.
And this time we'd have actually done something.
Well, in that case, I'll probably just be going to bed.
I'm gonna go to bed. I'm exhausted. It's been a long day. It's very nice to meet all of you. Yeah, I'll see you in the morning. She'll just go to the room. She probably the furthest one away from Eustace.
Okay.
Fair.
Good night,
Yeah.
new friends, Marko and Evren. My room is right here if you want to sleep over.
Let you know
Oh
if we
my
need
God.
anything.
Wow.
So, as you guys make your way to your rooms, like, Evren, your hand it's barely touched the handle of the door when all of a sudden you hear a yell from downstairs. Immediately following this, you hear some sort of glass break, shouting voices, raised voices, multiple people yelling and talking at the same time.
Gonna immediately turn and be like, there's trouble downstairs, and she's just gonna go run downstairs.
Just as he was unfastening his arbor, he just goes like, oh, like, be right
Danger,
down.
danger.
So, what do you guys do? You guys go back downstairs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
check out what's
All right.
going on.
Toggle back over to here. So down on the first floor, you guys reached the bottom step, and you can see that everyone is standing again, but it's more like giving space. People are sort of backed up against the walls. Two of the shepherds are standing in front of the veiled woman with their arms sort of crossed, making sure she's okay. And there are two figures rolling around on the ground. One of them has the other by the shirt collar. And they are yelling at the top of their voices. And the one on the ground is actually like, it's weird. The one who's holding him is shouting in his face. The guy on the ground is just smiling. The most just crap-eating grin you've ever seen in your life is just like daring him to do something.
Whoa, hey. What happened?
You hear a human man, completely bald, no hair, no beard, and he is holding another man down, and the man on the ground has like a shock, like blonde hair, but like starting to gray, and they are again sort of rolling around. Like the guy on the ground isn't really struggling anymore. Again, he's just sort of like letting the witnesses watch, but he doesn't look scared. The guy on the ground, and the guy yelling says, "I know it was you. It had to have been you. None of this happened until this nonsense with the sheep happened. It's all your fault." And the guy on the ground is just smiling. And he says, "I don't know what you're talking about. Standard Levex ravings, apparently."
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really this? Okay.
Leans over to Evren. I think he might be a Bracewell.
Yeah.
Again, that would probably be a very good guess there. Yeah.
The guy on the ground The guy on the
As
ground,
as we're watching.
the guy on the ground smiling just says, "Well, maybe if you knew how to keep your sheep safe, it wouldn't be a problem." And at that, Levex rears back to just punch this guy in the mouth. Yeah, what do you do?
This is bad situation. If we do something, we might get in trouble, guys.
I kind of want to pull him apart. I'm not gonna lie.
Do we know?
I know it's none of our business, but
I think the first thought that Evren has is to go find Lionel if we know where he is. I don't know if we know where he went.
You could deduce based on the fact that he said he had to go sign a documents that he's back in his office.
Okay.
But it would take you a little while to go there.
Right. Okay, so that's probably out of the question. Right now.
I could hold him here for questioning while you run and get him.
Man, I
Might not be good in the moment, but at least Lionel would know.
We could try to defuse the situation without doing anything too dramatic.
How do you suggest we do that?
I have a couple ideas, but I'm not really an ideas kind of person.
Well, let's hear it.
I was going to go up and say hi and see if they wanted to stop and talk about things.
Zana, that's a very nice thought, but I don't know if that's gonna work.
Well, if it doesn't, I'll be standing by.
Okay.
Okay, so
man.
what if I try to get them to stop fighting and that doesn't work, so Marko helps. And Everen can go get Lionel.
Sounds like we all have roles.
Sure, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, good. I'm glad that
So-
sounded cool.
That's okay. I like this. You know what? Zana, take a point of inspiration.
Oh, hell yeah.
So just store that away for yourself.
Bing.
So Everen, I'm assuming you're gonna beat feet over to
Yeah.
Lionel's office.
Just
Okay,
run as
sick.
fast as I can to go get him.
Sounds good. And then Marko is stanced up, ready to jump into the fray if need be.
Ready to
And
go
so
all bouncing
Zana, what do
roll.
you do? Okay, so again, to give you an idea, the two figures are about here, and one is standing over the others, got him by the collar, and is just sort of like daring, like I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And all the other shepherds are just quiet. They're just watching this monstrosity play out. What do you do?
I think when I get the idea that the guy up top might try to throw a punch, he'll just go, "Excuse me."
The bald guy just like whips his head around and looks like a crazed maniac. Like, what?
Yes, so I'm new to town. You probably know. I want to make sure everything's fine. Why do you attack this man?
Bracewell, who's on the ground, his smile fades. Now he's legitimately confused. And Levex, still holding Bracewell by the collar, sort of shakes him as he says this. He says, "This lowlife has been stealing my sheep."
I'm kind of like inching closer as they're talking.
Yeah. Did he like tell you that, or are you guessing?
All I
Did you
know.
see it?
No, I didn't see it, but I know Bracewell trickery when I see it. Ever since they bought that new patch of land closer to mine, now all of a sudden my sheep start going missing. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's just two things kind of happening close together. It might not be the case. You don't know unless you like talk about it.
I'm just nodding in agreement.
Like, what if maybe the sheep just walked somewhere where you couldn't see them, and Mr. Bracewell was just in town that day?
It's at this point that like Levex now looks back to Bracewell, back to you, Zana, and he's just like, "You're right. You're not from here. So you haven't had the great misfortune of meeting the Bracewells." And he shakes the guy and he says, "Our families have been at each other's throats for a long time, and they're always the ones instigating it."
Well, I can't meet them if they're getting beat up. What if we all just sit at the table and I can meet both of you?
Okay,
And
so
no one gets beat up.
go ahead and roll persuasion.
All right, please.
Please.
Everything on my +0 to persuasion, by the way.
That's.
But you have
rough.
inspiration,
I pulled up
right?
your character sheet and I was like, oh, whoa.
I do have inspiration. I need to remember what it does.
That is Zana's lowest stat.
Yeah. All right. Before I roll, remind me what inspiration does.
It's an extra
by the way.
D6, right? That you can roll at your will.
Is it a D4 or a D6?
I don't remember, honestly.
I'll make it if it is.
Inspiration, 5e.
Thank you, Google.
Thanks, Google.
They can roll with advantage on an ability check. So
Okay.
it's
You can just
advantage
roll with
on their
advantage.
Other roll.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Go ahead and
See
roll
this
it up.
First one. Okay, yeah, first one's a 5. I'm gonna roll with advantage.
Ooh.
Second one's a 13. That's a bit better.
Okay.
13.
Not great, but
That'll do.
So with a 13, I'm going to say that you have temporarily distracted Levex. Levex is still mad. Bracewell's still on the floor. But right now, all of a sudden, his focus is kind of shifted to you as an outsider of just like, whoop, 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 whoop. There's all of a sudden I'm talking to an Aasimar where like you see all at once that his rage has abated enough to where now he's confused of just like, wait, who's
Yeah,
talking to me?
That's better than aggression for sure.
And so
Yeah.
he just goes, "Listen, I understand you're trying to help whoever you are, but the fact of the matter is you do not get in between the two of us. All right?"
well, yes, that's why I'm standing over here, away from the fight.
No, I mean, you know what I mean. Not physically in, but just don't
I
be an
know.
interloper. You're not from around here, so you wouldn't understand it. So I'm willing to just let it go.
What?
But leave me to my business. My business is with Bracewell.
But if you help understand, I might get a better idea of why this is happening. I really have had a good day, and I want everyone else to have a good day and not get punched.
Aww.
One of the old dudes at the card table, those two haven't stood up. It looks like they see this every week. And the one who raised his glass to you, Marko, just raises another glass and says, "I'll drink to that," and starts drinking again. It's just like, this is like the entertainment, like the floor show for this guy. Quite literally a floor show.
Listen, I cannot change your mind clearly. You seem to be very made up about it, but I will say it's a lot easier to get in trouble when you punch somebody and when you punch someone in your head only.
He looks confused for a second,
I'm just thinking, like, just distract him long enough for Evren to get help.
and then
From talking.
wheels back around over Bracewell. And Bracewell, still smiling at this point, just says, "Go ahead, Levex. See what happens. Go ahead. I have witnesses. The room is full of people. You think the Peacekeeper's just going to let this one go? You remember he warned you last time. I don't think he's going to give you another warning."
Can I...
Evren, I want you to go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Sure. Okay.
I want to see how fast you ran.
Screw up your groove, Zana.
Not super fast, an 8.
Okay, so I'm gonna say
You trip.
that
Shoot. Darn it.
I'm gonna say that you just now reach his office.
Okay, fair.
So what do you do once you get there?
I think she's trying to go as fast as she can, especially probably knowing that she's being late. Be like, she's just looking for him. Lionel, are you here? We've got a problem.
You hear his voice muffled behind his door, and he just goes, "Who is it?"
It's Evren.
He opens the door. Oh, right. Sorry.
Uh,
Not great with the names yet. What's the problem?
It's fine. There's pretty sure there's the Bracewell and Levex guys. They're fighting back at the yeah.
He's holding like a parchment
Uh-huh.
and a quill, and they just both like drop to his side, and you can very clearly see that he's signing like a death certificate of some sort, and he just goes, "Oh, just what this day needs." And then he like leans the paper against the door jamb and just quickly just scrawls something on it and puts it down on his desk and then says, "Let's go."
Okay.
And then go ahead and roll another athletics check.
I think as they're leaving, she's like, "I'm sorry to interrupt you. I didn't know what to do." And yeah, athletics. Okay, that's better. 13.
Okay. With a 13, since it was dark out. So that's what we're going to say. Is since it was dark out, you don't know where the paths are. You were trying to like make sure you didn't get lost going to the building. But since he's like charging that way, you just follow where he's going.
Yeah.
So you're going to make it there faster. Cutting back into the Groggy Bee, Levex is like getting real close to Bracewell's face and is just saying, "You don't think I won't? Are you daring me to do this right now, Bracewell? I don't care if I have witnesses. I don't care if I get thrown in a cell for the next week. What do you think, I'm going to be sad? I'm going to miss out on the carnival? No, this is bigger than just some stolen sheep. This is it. You and me. One of us is walking out of here on 2 feet and the other's going to be carried out."
Oh.
Wow.
Hey, Marko, I think he's taking this really seriously.
I can see. And he's just like very carefully inching forward, trying not to be like notice that he's advancing, but like getting close enough to where he could just kind of like pull him apart if he has to.
Okay.
Like, I really don't want to do this, but
you're actively moving towards him.
Like very
yes,
very
cautiously.
slowly.
As you're moving towards him, you hear someone spit. And you realize, to your horror, that Bracewell has just spat in Levex's face since he was that close to his face.
Oh, well,
and it's at this point that, without just like, oddly enough, Levex, strangely passive, stone-faced even. He's holding Bracewell by the collar, reaches back behind him, grabs a bottle, and smashes it against the table, and now he has a weapon.
Oh,
and he's holding the broken bottle right at Bracewell's face.
I have an idea. Is it like one fluid motion where like he takes it and then comes down with it, or is he like holding it against him?
He's like pressing it. He's got it up against his neck. He hasn't like stabbed or anything. He's just like, this is serious. I'm gonna kill you. Like, this is it. This is the end. Like, he's got it poised over his face.
Oh. Can I? Oh God, I don't want to like hurt him on accident. I don't want to hurt him on accident.
Oh, this is so much worse, you guys.
Can I yank it out of his hand?
Okay, so you're going to disarm. So
I'm gonna disarm him. I'm not opposed to this guy getting hit. Like, he probably deserves a good smack, but he doesn't deserve to die.
Not to be smacked into the afterlife, no.
All right, so for that, I'm going to say probably if you're trying to yank something out of his hand, that's probably sleight of hand. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me
Yeah.
sleight of hand.
Here we go. Oh! No! 11!
Okay. With an 11, what happens is...
Just cut my hand. Just cut
So you went to reach for it, and we're going to say you got sleeve, is what you got.
Okay.
And so you like went to pull on the sleeve to like move the bottle away, and he like elbows your arm away, looks back at you with kind of a crazed look, and holds the bottle up in your direction and is like, "You're no part of this. Stay out of this."
I know this is not my business, but no one needs to die here on this lovely evening. Just whack the sucker and be done with it. No one has to die.
Roll persuasion.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's better than murder.
That's way better. 18.
Okay, so what you've just done is you've goaded a slightly drunk man with a broken bottle by saying, just whack him. Or what did you say? Just hit him and be done with it, basically?
Yeah. Just no one needs to die.
Levex looks down at the broken bottle and says, "You know, you're right." And he tosses the bottle to the floor, and it clinks and it rolls. And then he smacks this guy in the face so freaking hard. So now I gotta figure out how hard he hits this guy in the face.
Surely it's a D4.
Give me just a second.
Good save, Marko.
That was
Good
not
save.
horrible, but he's gonna be really hurt.
But he's not dead, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Concussed, probably.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get.
I'm just gonna
That's
He did
he
it.
made
I'm
his
just
own
gonna-
bed.
grab one of
Right.
these giant bad boys and just roll that up. Okay, he rolled an 11, and I arbitrarily decided to give him a +3 since he's got the opponent down on the ground.
Yeah.
They're not wearing armor. AC's low, very low.
He's probably got like 10 tops.
So with a strike like that, he winds back. He hits Bracewell right in his smiling mouth. And you see a tooth go flying. Just awkwardly clatters to the floor. And he like he hit him so hard that he like drops him to the ground. It's like, like he hurt his hand. And he's like holding it and just mean mugging Bracewell on the ground. Bracewell is dazed. He is like eyes half closed. He's dazed.
I'm just gonna like look really concerned, like, and then just fumble to pick up the tooth and offer it back to him.
So Levex looks at you, Marko, and
Just give
says,
him like a cheesy smile.
he just says, "You're right. That was more fun." And then he like turns to walk out of the room, and right as that happens, the door opens, and Lionel and Evren walk in. And Lionel like just surveys the scene, looks at the two of you, the other two of you, Zana and Marko, looks at the guy on the ground, looks at the tooth that you're holding in your hand, looks at all the people huddled over in the corner, and then he turns and looks over in the direction of those two old guys who are just like, sort of just watching, just sort of like,
It's their show.
yeah.
Still
And he just says, "Victor, Give me the skinny. And the old dude who's been the most lively of the two picks up his drink and just says, well, far as I can tell, Bracewell started it, Levex ended it. And then he just looks over at the missing tooth, sees Bracewell lying on the ground, just looks over so like disappointingly in the direction of Levex, who's still holding his hand. It's like bloodied, his knuckles. And he just says,
I don't want to use knuckles on skull.
Yeah, that's bone on bone. Ow.
and Lionel says, do you have anything to drink tonight, Levex? And Levex is just like, yeah, what of it? What about Bracewell? Yeah, he might have had a couple. All right. Drunken brawl. Fair enough. Get out of here, Levex. I don't want you in here for another week. I don't want to see your face in town for a while, all right? Or else I might do something stupid. Go hang out at the carnival. Do us all a favor and leave with them. And then Levex sort of nods and gets out of there. And then he turns back over in the direction of Victor, one of the old dudes. Says, you'll help Bracewell get back to his estate, right? And Victor and the other old man nod, grab their walking staffs, stand up, and they each take an arm and they sort of hoist Bracewell up from the ground. But before they leave, when Bracewell's eye to eye with Lionel just looks at Bracewell, who's sort of regained his composure a little bit, and just says, I'm telling you right now, this is going to end in a corpse if you're not careful. I don't care what started the fight, but do everyone in this town a favor and stop messing with Levex. And then Bracewell just sort of like, he doesn't answer. He's still not quite all there. And then he says, get him out. And they open the door and escort him out. And then he looks at the three of you.
Yeah, I'm just doing this. Like...
looks over at Evren, regards Zana and Marko, says, I'll expect a full report of what happened here in the morning, but right now, I need a drink, and I'm going to bed.
Sounds
and
good to me.
Selena just like slides one down the counter, and he walks over, grabs it, says, this wasn't how I was planning on spending my evening, but for what it's worth, thank you. And he's regarding all three of you. And then he looks over at Selena again, and he says, mind if I take this on the way? I'll bring it back when I come to sleep. She's just like, she nods, and he takes it with it back to his office. He's just, I have more papers to sign, and it's going to be a long, long day tomorrow. And he walks out.
Yeah, before he leaves, I'll just go like, your thanks wasn't necessary, but it is welcomed. Go get some rest. You helped quite a bit yourself.
You again.
It's all right.
Good night. Drink water after that.
Thanks, Mom. Listen, I'm a peacekeeper. It's what I do. This, as you can see, is exactly why I need more people on my team here. One person cannot keep all these colorful individuals in check. And then he turns his back and he heads out. And he just sort of gives you guys a little wave. And he heads back to his office.
Okay, good night for real.
It's at this point that Selena stands up on a little stepping stool that she has behind for like reaching stuff off the counters, says, closing time, everyone. And people sort of push their chairs back in, and one or two of the shepherds pick up some of the glass, take the bottle, move all that stuff out of the way, and the remaining shepherds sort of surround the veiled lady and escort her out onto the street. And Selena starts going over to all the little sconces and like extinguishing the flames, and it starts to get really dim in there. And she just says, "I hope you all have a good night's sleep. It seems like you've had a very long day."
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
exhausted.
thank
Sorry
you.
about the mess.
Trust me, honey. I've seen worse.
Well, colorful town indeed.
As you guys head upstairs, like right before you guys head up the stairs, like Selena turns to you, Zana, and is just like, "Good thinking with that stalling. I don't think I would have had the play to do that."
Yes, thank you. I thought of that very hard, very fast. I am glad someone noticed. Good night. And she'll go.
"Good night, honey. Have a good night's sleep." And she goes back to puttering about closing stuff up. And you guys climb the stairs back up to the second floor. And it's not until you guys reach upstairs that the true weight of the exhaustion that you actually feel sort of catches up with you. Since you guys were locked up in that outpost pretty late the previous night, and especially for poor Marko, you didn't get much rest in that cell. And so getting the chance to unlock this door of your own accord, sort of a nice turnaround from the giant jingling set of keys that locked you in your cells.
Can I like stretch out like
Mhm.
all the way?
It's a high ceilinged roof as well, so you can bring your arms all the way up, and you're not even touching.
All right. Well, back on the horse. Man.
Okay, so as you guys head to bed, let me go ahead and see if I can't mute the music. There we go. Or at least I did on my end.
Yeah.
You got it.
It's
Okay.
for everyone in the call, so yeah.
Okay, so we're going to wind down. So I'm just going to read this last little thing, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you rest your weary heads on your comfy pillows in the groggy bee, busy limbs strain in the dark, teeth reflecting the light of the moon. And that is where we will end our session.
Awesome.
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 Yeah, so much fun.
It was very nice.
Oh my god.
I was so freaking excited when Zana started talking.
Yeah.
Like I love I love Aasimar Borat.
I love the contrast in the three characters you guys made.
Yeah.
There's such good contrast. I love it.
I think Zana
I am
and are
Angel Lady from Fantasy Russia.
both very overly nice.
I wasn't expecting to. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be the curmudgeon of the group, but you know what? I'm kind of here for it. So.
I'm down for this new Natalie character.
This is awesome.
Yeah, Evren's great. Every time I put nonsense character in, I'm like, oh, Evren's gonna freaking hate this. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh man. She could have fun. It's just the circumstances right now are, yeah, not the greatest.
See, you say curmudgeon, but I feel like any normal person in this situation, it's like we're on work leave, like
Yeah.
we're prisoners. Like why? Like of course I'm not having fun. We're like a middle of nowhere town full of crazy people.
Marco's like, I may be a prisoner, but I don't feel like one. I feel like amazing.
How are you guys so happy all the time?
Zana's like, this is best day ever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. It's very
Great
good.
thinking.
Yeah.
Where each of you had a different part of the plan. That was impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
That was the most.
Off the cuff, too.
I'll be honest. That was probably the most cohesive plan I've ever made with the D&D group. Like, just
Hell
the quickest
yeah.
and most
And we
cleanest
actually stuck to it.
plan. Yeah, that I've made with the D&D group. And
That
You
was
guys
very,
did
very
great.
smooth.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm debating at the end of each session. I don't know how much I should tell you guys. Not about things upcoming,
Mhm.
but rather like how much I like what was in my mind's eye for whatever session we just finished.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm to help you peek around the curtain just a little bit here,
Yeah.
95% of this session was winged.
I figured a lot of it was improv, but
Yeah.
It was, well, so it wasn't in the sense that I had characters in place and I had general ideas about what they would sound like, what their personalities would be like.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, if I just throw this at these three, they're going to make a session out of it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you
you've
guys
got three
turned what
pretty
could have
proactive
easily been a
players here.
very, very, very boring session into something very fun. So thank you for that.
I think
Hell yeah.
there's a wonderful quality to just like mundane D&D things, like just
Yeah.
being in a tavern filled with drunk characters. There you
Our
go.
first arc, find
Wonderful.
Oh,
Like-
man.
Like,
Yeah.
sheep have gone missing. Start with a small mystery. It's still like the most investing thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
You don't gotta go crazy big with these things.
Well, thanks
I
for
appreciate
playing
the
along, folks.
That was
Hell yeah.
wonderful.
Thanks
Max.
for running
Great
it.
job.
Yeah, you did awesome.
Good. I'm loving the dynamics already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was really curious to see the party dynamic. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super happy. So 2 weeks, I will hopefully have figured out how y'all will see what I want you to see when I trigger certain things in Roll20. I'll do some research. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I know
Um,
what happened. It was you said it yourself. You gave us editor roles because my address says approll20.net/editor.
That would be it. So you guys can just freely toggle.
Yeah.
So I need to actually
I'll do it.
make sure that you guys, I can send it to you. Maybe you guys have to like actually officially like join the thing. I did something goofy. I sent the wrong thing. I'll figure it out.
Probably just like an invite.
Yeah,
thing.
There should
like
be-
invite
players.
to like join game or something like that
Let me
versus
look it up actually.
There should be a player invite link.
See, I thought that's what I sent.
I'm pretty sure that's what you sent. I
Editor
just
to-
think it's a matter of figuring out how to,
Roll.
on the GM side, how to like swap
Yeah.
scenes and stuff like that.
Okay, you should be able to by going into the settings tab on the top right corner, and in the top section there's a button that says rejoin as player. Let's try that. Let's see. No? No?
I'm pretty sure we all joined as players. I think it's just a matter of figuring out, like I said, how to actually swap scenes and all that, which...
Hold on a second. There's a little
It says 3
bookmark.
players.
What about now?
Yeah, it's swapped. For me, at
Okay.
least. Yeah.
So what I had to do, there's a little bookmark that says players on it on the pages tab that I have to move to a room and then click it,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Oh.
So that should just be a grass patch.
Yep, that's-
And then if I move it to first floor,
You got it.
are you guys all seeing that?
I can see it, yeah.
I see the tavern right now.
Okay, let me change it to the overworld map.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah, it's
Oh,
working.
so weird. Okay, so I have to move the player's bookmark to the room I want and then open it. That's the main reason why I went with Roll20 was because I could just make infinite rooms.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because when I
That's
went
really
to
nice.
Owlbear Rodeo or whatever, I think it only on the free version lets you make 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Two,
and on
yeah.
my Owlbear Rodeo, it's literally just the maps side by side of each other.
Mhm.
'Cause I only
But I
have
mean,
one
hey,
room.
like that totally
The
would work.
repurposed.
Again, I mainly just wanted to make sure y'all have visuals for certain things. So like, yeah. But yeah, this was a lot of fun.
That's always helpful.
The next one is going to actually be a little bit more organized, I think. What I will need from you now, because I forgot to have Lionel do it, IRL, is to ask you guys as a party what you guys are thinking about investigating.
Right
Again,
now?
of all the
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
structures that you've seen in town, you'll physically tell this to Lionel the next morning, and he'll set it up then to make it sense within this make sense within the story. I forgot to have him get you guys to do that in person,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
for me, I need to know that so I can go build it.
Yeah.
So of the structures in the town that you see in Montrace proper, what would you like to investigate?
I'd say the manor is definitely the most eye-catching to me.
Yeah, I would.
There was a generations ago family there that
Yeah,
fight off some curse
Yeah.
or drive off some wolves, then that's a good lead.
I'm
to
all
start
for investigating an abandoned manor. Yeah.
Okay, Croyburn Manor. Got it. Roger that. Awesome. And then you players will show up and tell that to him, and he'll be like, "Oh, that'll be easy because I don't have to talk to anyone to set it up."
We should
you know,
probably touch base with the Levex and Bracewell folks the following day.
yeah.
as
Again,
well.
a lot of this session was just establish a character that I have in my notes, and then just set them loose and see what happens. So
Yeah.
you guys did great.
Thank you.
No, you.
No, you.
No, you.
Okay.
You do such good job.
All right. I
Okay,
think I
Jessica.
might head out for the evening.
Okay.
All right.
Good game, everybody.
So
Yeah,
we'll be leaving
GGs.
the 14th, I think, for the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll reset the event in the Discord for that. Same time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That
Mhm.
worked out.
Around, if you want to hop on around that 4:30, 4:45-ish mark, we can do any pregame chat or just make sure
Yeah.
we have everything set up, give ourselves a little bit of breathing room.
Sounds good.
Makes
and-
sense.
And what I need to make sure of is every time we plan to have one of these 2 weeks out, I need to immediately then go double check my family's calendar because summers are always insane, just to make sure that we don't have any conflicts, that
Yeah.
I don't have any conflicts. But tentatively, 14th, same time.
Okay, just let us know if it changes.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
I will let you know as well
Yeah.
what's going on. But Sundays are probably the
Safest.
safest day of the entire week.
Yeah.
I agree
So
with
it
that.
should be okay.
Yes. Totally
Every other
on
day
board.
it might be a little bit more like wishy-washy, but
Thanks for helping set up a lot of the tech stuff, Natalie, with like the music and everything,
of
the
course.
server. Appreciate it. It was a
That's
huge
problem.
weight off
Hey.
my shoulders to not have to worry about any of that.
I try to
What
help when I
Natalie
can.
does.
she's really good at that.
Yeah.
I love y'all's characters. I love it.
Thank you. I try.
I love it.
I love the voice work from everyone too. It's good. Good stuff.
I love your accent. Where are you from?
Heaven.
Heaven. So good.
I quoted
I'm
that
from heaven.
in the TTRPG quotes in my server because that was too good.
Their birds seem quite nice.
There were some good quotes in this, yes.
I'll have to go to Twitter and talk about it after in a bit, but yeah.
Yes, where are the wolves?
Where?
Oh man, so good.
Alrighty.
Some
All right,
good
you
shit.
crazy cats. I'm gonna peace out.
See ya.
All right. See you, Max. Thank you for
Thank
the game.
you.
Yeah.
See you later.